Donovan, I feel like last week's episode was like tailor-made for you. You know, the topic of the whole thing was like every NBA team's biggest problem. So basically it was like, let's go team by team and hate on some shit. This week, we're flipping in reverse. We're going to talk about the most underrated players in the NBA. We're going to get flowers.
I have to give love? Positivity? This one's tough.
No, you're not built for it.
All right.
It's
not my bag. It's not my bag. I'm letting you understand. It took me a while to prep for this one. I had to go down the list to see who's truly underrated.
You had to dig deep in your heart to go ahead and find some positivity by each and every single player or team.
Took me days.
We got to keep a Donovan hater counter because he's going to find ways to hate in an episode tailored to positivity. He's got to put a quarter in the swear jar every time he finds a way to do it.
That's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, man. If you're watching on YouTube, drop a like and subscribe. If you're on audio platforms, rate us 5 stars, leave a review, all that. Follow us on all socials, yada, yada, yada. Simple and plain. Today, we're all going to have 10 players we got to talk about as being underrated. They're ordered 1 through 10, so like the title says ranking. You know, orders doesn't really matter. The main point is we think these 10 players deserve more recognition. Today, we're going to give it to them.
The cranium is crazy. Oh my god.
I mean, I really don't know what to say.
Crayon eaters, rejoice.
All right, before we get started on us giving our list of underrated players in the league, did y'all see the report that the NBA is apparently looking into their rules this offseason to think about if they've gone too far with offense? You know, that's been the narrative for a long time. And apparently Adam Silver is finally agreeing, and they're going to take a look at it.
Look at Adam Silver. let me clap it up for Adam Silver because I hate on Adam Silver a lot. And this is something that, even though that we've talked a bunch about where, like, yes, the scoring's up and there's like multiple reasons why, and it isn't just NBA players don't know how to play defense, but being able to like put rules in the game to make it feel a little bit more balanced. That's gonna do like numbers, and it's gonna be massive for a lot of, I think, casual fans who look at the game, look at box scores, and you turn on games on a Tuesday night and it's like 140 to 142, no overtime. What's going on? These guys aren't playing defense. Like, it's gonna do a lot for the visual of the league. So I think if they make the right rule changes, this can be really good.
Makes sense. What do you think, Mo?
I agree. It's like looking back at it from like, let's say 2015, I think there were about like 20 point per game scores that year. And now all the way almost 9 years later or whatever, in the year 2024, my bad, there's 45. We fucking more than double that shit. Whew. That is absolutely insane. You know, folks off people like Cam Thomas out here giving 20 points per game on a consistent basis, and they're like, all right, this is a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much. we need some goddamn rule changes. I understand it. It is more, the NBA genuinely is more skilled. That's just how things are when it comes to making advancements in whatever part of your life it is. And like, I understand it. And I think it's a good change. It's a good change that needs to probably happen.
Now, we'll see if there actually is a change. All it says is the NBA Competition Committee has officially begun reviewing whether the game has become too advantageous for offense and whether some changes need to be implemented to achieve better balance. So we'll see what that looks like. I feel like the thing people go to a lot as like the obvious one that could change is removing defensive 3 seconds in the paint. Mm-hmm. That makes the most sense, right? That wasn't a thing until the 2000s when they added it to try to make more spacing. It was like the express purpose was to drive offense. Now, you know, with the express purpose being the other way, it makes total sense to just remove that rule and go back to the way it was when the sport was first started, you know, the way it is internationally. I like that a lot. Some of the other changes are a little too ambitious for me. Like, they're never going to like bring back full-on hand checking, right? Like, they're not going to allow that. Mm-hmm. What other changes would y'all like to see that are realistic?
I don't know. I think like the hand checking one for me is one that I think can't, like the full-on hand checking, like you said, I don't think that that's going to get back to it. But I would like to see some level of like physicality on the perimeter. I think instituting that or making sure that it's like a point of emphasis to not call as many touch fouls on the outside. That could be good. The other day, right, whenever this was reported, I saw this picture of like the 3-point line being changed, and so people were saying, you know, say goodbye to the corner 3 and basically making the NBA court look like an LA Fitness court. I don't know if I love this.
That'd be awful. I'd hate that.
Yeah.
That'd be terrible.
Yeah,
it would ruin the game.
No corner
not
3
ruin
is
it,
crazy.
But
no,
it would take away so many
That'd
aspects.
be ridiculous.
I mean, they've messed with the 3-point line before. So it wouldn't shock me if they came out. Well, actually, that I'd lie. It would shock me, but it wouldn't be like there is no precedent for messing around with the 3-point line in the NBA.
For sure. I think that would ruin it a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. But I see what you mean. I also seen people say like if they're not going to remove 3 seconds entirely, make the paint more narrow like it used to be. They widened the paint back in the day. I think it was to make Kareem less overpowered, so he couldn't camp out in the paint. They made it they changed all the stuff so there's less space. You got to move out further when you got to get out of the paint. Yeah, I can see that, but I don't know. This tweet's pulled up as hilarious. Said the league removing defensive 3 seconds in Wemby's sophomore year. He's really going to be the GOAT. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, no.
This guy's going to be amazing if they do that. He's just going to camp out all day.
Yeah, no. I like that. I like that idea. I don't think they necessarily need to like completely get rid of it, but I think instead of seeing it go from like 3 seconds, maybe take it to like 7 seconds. Double that time in 1+1. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll make a huge difference. I think Luka Doncic was on JJ Redick's podcast and he was talking about like how the level of difficulty it is to score in the NBA. And he was talking about how in the EuroLeague, of course, I think you mentioned this earlier, Isaac, that you can camp out there as long as you want. And that's why obviously it's just so hard. And he times it every single time perfectly in the NBA. As soon as someone's out of the paint, it's go time. Attack that motherfucker in front of you and just get to the basket. And you can do that 90% of the time. And with having someone be there double the amount of time, of course, like I expect Luka Doncic to still go ahead and do Luka things. But you have to imagine not everyone in the entire NBA has that same eliteness in terms of making that read as quick enough. Yeah. So it'll help.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I'm really interested to see what their takeaways are because obviously there's a lot of outrage around like, oh, the scoring numbers are so high. And like Donovan said, the casual fan viewpoint is like they don't play defense these days. So even though we know that's not true and a lot of that is overblown from, just like I said, a casual perspective. Now, I don't mean casual in an insulting way. I mean like literally they're not that into the weeds. So like how could they know? I could still see, because that's the common sentiment among casual fans, which is how the NBA makes their money. I could see them wanting to, try to fix that from that perception because, perception is reality for these fans that they want to make hardcore fans. If they're not going to be willing to do that because they feel like there's no defense, maybe they got to make them not feel that way, even if it's not necessarily a real issue.
Yeah, and we've seen a couple changes like in the past couple years where like the rip through was taken out. Trae Young and James Harden's signature move where they kind of like
in jail. They put someone in jail behind their back. Yeah,
exactly. Right. They get in front of you, jump back into you to get the foul. The take foul has been taken out. They've already taken steps to make it one, not as offensively oriented, but also just for the flow of the game. And so I think a lot that they can do is they can implement a lot of rules from like FIBA, from like EuroLeagues, because whenever you watch those games and you watch international games, and you'll see it this year. Is it this year? I guess with the Olympics. Yeah. So you'll see it. Those games go super, super quickly because the number of timeouts aren't the same, right? The 3-point line is in. All the rules are very different, and the game feels like a very, very different game than what we're used to seeing on a normal basis. So I think you can take a lot of what you see in the offseason, and then we can go into next season and have some ideas. One thing, and I have no idea if this is offensive or defensive or whatever. Let's get rid of the block charge. People were saying it at the end of last year and they've died off, right? Because people aren't jumping over everybody anymore. But I'm still exactly. But I'm still standing on it. I do not think that the charge, standing and taking the charge that's not a basketball play, in my opinion. I think that
that would hurt defenses a lot to take that out. That would make defense that's a crutch for defenses. Need that if you want to worry about helping them.
And that's why I said I don't know if it's offensive or defense. I'm just talking about rule changes at this point, and I just had to get this off my chest. We got to get rid of that because it's not a basketball play. We just can't do it.
Well, listen, that's going to add another 1.5 points to everybody's offensive efficiency if you take that out, because now they don't got to worry about somebody rotating and drawing a charge. Everybody's getting slammed on.
Well, listen, if it means that we're forcing people who are 6'10" and 7 feet to jump up and actually try and block a shot rather than take a charge, I'll be okay. I'll be just.
You're going to ruin big Jalen Williams' career?
Oh my goodness, bro.
Jump.
One of the most disgusting things I've seen over the last 5 years of my life in person while I was hooping at a LA Fitness basketball court, I saw someone attempt to take a charge while someone else is driving at the rim, bro. It was
that's ridiculous.
Cowardly, disgusting, no life.
Why even do it? Who's calling the foul? There's no ref there.
I don't know. It's embarrassing as hell.
Understand. That's Kyle Lowry's impact. That's what he's done. That's what he's done.
Imagine being at LA Fitness and calling your own charge on the defense.
Shut up.
Hey man, you charged me. Like what?
Shut up.
Grow some shame, bro. Grow some shame. But if a change was to be made in NBA and defense was a little bit more emphasized, something that I'm actually looking forward to happening is a certain type of archetype of player being welcomed and accepted back into the league, widely at least. And I'm talking about like the one-way player archetypes who strictly are only like defenders. The Jarrett Vanderbilts of the world, he can get away with it because like he does a little bit more than just like straight up play defense, ball handling, play make just a little bit and all that other shit. But where are the Andre Robersons of the world? You know what I'm saying? I miss those type of guys.
Europe, that's where they're at. That's just not going to happen. No rule change is going to make it so you don't have to be a shooter at all. We've come too far. NBA minds are too smart. No rule change is going to fix that shit unless they take away the 3-point line.
There was a clip. There was like a cut up this week of Andre Roberson highlights of him. This one. He was the last
O&D player.
O&D player. It's a 3-minute highlight clip of him airballing, hitting the side of the backboard. And I saw this and instantly forgave Kevin Durant for leaving OKC. I was like, you had to get away from this. My bad, right? Because I forgot how bad the situation was when you're playing 4-on-5 offensively with this guy out there.
The funniest part is Paul George could have joined the Lakers with LeBron, but he decided to return to another year to play with Westbrook and Andre Roberson.
Oh my goodness.
Do you know the hell Westbrook had to go through, bro? His best shooters were fucking Victor Oladipo and also Kyle Singler off the bench.
Dude, they had Sabonis in the corner.
Kill me now, bro. Oh my God.
Sabonis was a spot-up shooter.
Yeah. God.
He got them
as time goes on.
He got them to the 6th seed.
Who was the coach? That's Scott Brooks or was that already Billy Donovan?
I think that was Billy Donovan.
That Billy?
Yeah, it was Billy.
Yeah.
How was that man employed? He put Sabonis in the corner.
Yeah.
What else did he have?
No options, bro. Ennis Cantor, Steven Adams, double big man lineup. It did damage. Let's get back on topic, man.
Sabonis in the corner.
Yeah, nah. Disgusting.
Could you imagine Sabonis in the corner today? He hasn't took a 3 in fucking 6 years.
Well, he took a 3 last game that he played against Miami, and he actually cashed that bitch. But nah, that's actually bad basketball.
Maybe he should get back in the corner then.
It was bad basketball.
That's enough rule changes. It'll be interesting to see what their findings are come summertime. Let's move on to talking about the 10 most underrated players in the league. We all have our lists. Woo! One by one. I have 2 honorable mentions. Do you guys have any?
No. I have no honorable mentions. I have 10.
As of now, I do not have honorable mentions.
Okay, I'll throw my honorable mentions out there first. These are 2 guys who I wanted to include, but I figured it was a little bit too nerdy and people wouldn't want to hear me talk about it at length. But I have my 2 honorable mentions, Simone Fontecchio and Gigi Jackson.
Gigi Jackson. I love to hear that. Let's bring music to my ears real quick about Gigi, please.
Gigi's awesome. I didn't put him on here. I ended up putting somebody else a little more notable because I figured he's not underrated. People just don't fucking know him because people aren't watching the Grizzlies. Because why would you? Because all their players are fucking in the cemetery right now for the season. Mm-hmm. But in the last 17 games or so since he came into the rotation after all the injuries, he's kind of proven that he's going to be a wing that's here to stay in that organization once their stars come back and they need players to fill around them. He's shooting like 40% from 3 while being 6'9", being able to attack off the dribble, hit the rim, do all these things as like a supercharged 3-and-D player. He was he's the youngest player in the NBA. He reclassified. He came into his college year as like one of the most hyped prospects, but was terrible and very inefficient in his 1 year at South Carolina. So the NBA world kind of forgot about him. He fell to like 23 in the draft, but I think he's showing that like he's gonna be like a legitimately very useful wing in the NBA. And once Ja Morant comes back, Desmond Bane comes back, everybody comes back next year, casual fans are gonna look up and be like, yo, who the fuck is this guy that's like their 3rd star in a couple of years? Where did he come from?
Something that the Memphis Grizzlies did an amazing job of is like, I think everyone knows they're one of the better teams as of late when it comes to drafting. But they did have like a couple misses. One of the bigger ones was Zaire Williams, who was a top 12 or 13 pick a couple years ago, and he's a complete miss, absolute zero, doesn't bring much to the game, hella inconsistent and all that. But finding but shout out to him though. He played in Sierra Canyon. No, I don't. Great. I loved watching him in high school, bro, or at least watching the high school highlights. But
I guess you started on Jake LaRavia. You're gonna have a whole mouthful.
Yeah, but them finding Vince Williams and now adding Gigi Jackson, who's just like a whole nother dynamic wing after losing Dylan Brooks and having to, like, you know, give Desmond Bane a different role because of all the other types of things that he can do on the ball. Fucking great job for them, bro. That's a W. Yeah. Honorable mention.
Those two guys plus their upcoming top 7 pick or so is going to change the franchise.
Yeah, and I'm very happy that Isaac, you had Gigi Jackson as an honorable mention. Mo, that you just mentioned Vince Williams, because those are two of my guys, and we can start there. And it's
both of them?
Both of them.
Nice.
Right? You're disgusting. I love it.
For the exact reason that Isaac said is that nobody's watching the Memphis Grizzlies right now, and once all the stars comes back, they are going to fit into their roles alongside Ja perfectly, and they are the exact types of players that you want alongside Ja Morant. And so when you think about like the lineup and the defensive versatility that you can have out there with Gigi Jackson, with Vince Williams, who is fantastic defensively, it's going to be amazing. And they cover up a lot of flaws that Ja Morant has, who, as soon as he came back, everything was like, oh wow, the Memphis Grizzlies are back. Like the offense was fine. It's gonna be perfect. And he's hurt, but in the 9 games that he played, I think we all kind of agreed, yeah, he's a top 12 player minimum. Like
around there.
Yeah, that's
15 at worst.
Exactly. That's around where he's at. And so getting these role players in the door right now, getting them experience of actual NBA games is massive. And all their emergence also puts the Grizzlies in a great position, because we talked about how this season doesn't necessarily have to be a lost one because they have their draft pick for next year. And so they're going to be able to retool and get a young player. They're ahead of schedule. They've done that ×2 already. So now they have flexibility to where, let's say that they continue to do what they've done over the past couple of years, draft well, and they hit again on their draft pick this year. Now you're going to have 3 young players, a lot of flexibility, and a lot of trade assets to go out and get, solid rotation players or solid veterans to fix legitimate holes that you need, right? And so for us, I think that we've talked a lot about the 5 position, right? Their center position next to Jarrett Jackson, figuring out how to replace Steven Adams in that role. And now you have defense, you have shooting, you have versatility, and trade assets to do all that. And that is because of Gigi Jackson and Vince Williams, who are super, super young. And so, yeah, those are 2 of my guys on my top 10 underrated.
I'm kind of at the point now that I think they could afford to trade Marcus Smart and whatever this pick is to get a legitimate upgrade at center, whoever that may be. I don't know who's going to be available. Maybe the Cavs flame out and somehow Jarrett Allen's available, or Nick Claxton's a free agent. Maybe that's what they're targeting. There's been a lot of rumors about that. I think him and Ja are really tight. If it has to be a sign and trade, I think because you have Vince Williams and Gigi Jackson, who long-term can both be starters, maybe not right away for Gigi Jackson, but I think Vince Williams could be their starting 3 next year. I think you can afford to move Marcus Smart to get a really quality big, and then you could imagine a closing lineup that has Ja, Bane, Gigi Jackson, or Vince Williams, Jaren Jackson, and then whoever this quality big is. And that's an amazing 6-man rotation. You still have Luke Kennard, who I think has another year left on his contract, plus all the other guys they have there. Like, that's the making of a fucking amazing team.
Yeah, they're eating. They're cooking, and they're set up next year to come back and be one of the best teams in the West.
Exactly. Yeah. One of my favorite sayings is everything happens for a reason. Memphis Grizzlies fans, y'all gonna have the time of your fucking life next year. me too. Okay, LeBron.
You guys see that video where Lucas was asking everybody at
yeah.
That's hilarious.
Shout out the Broncos boys. Yeah, man. So those are my honorable mentions, along with Simone Fontecchio. Donovan, you said, let's say your number 10 and number 9 are Gigi Jackson and Vince Williams, just to keep an order.
Yeah.
Who's your number 10, Mo?
Oh, man. My number 10 is kind of disgusting, but I don't give a damn. It's Victor Wembanyama. Listen, man.
This is nasty.
I've been on board, and I'm like, At first, around like when we did our top 30 player list, I think maybe Isaac mentioned like he could maybe be a top 30 player, but none of us really did it because we didn't want to have that. Like we didn't want to put that out there yet.
Oh no! Listen,
yeah.
Listen, I did it in the offseason. I did it in the offseason.
There are so many players right now who I'd rather have Victor Wembanyama than them, bro. I'm pretty much putting him at like the top 25, 20 player range right now, easily.
Conservative, you ask me.
Yeah.
Listen, I made on my personal show now on my channel, plug the Isaac Gutierrez show. Episode 2 was titled Victor Wembanyama is already a star. You just aren't paying attention. So I've been on this. I made the video about that, which was about 3 weeks ago now. I also made a TikTok where I said he was a top 5 center and better than Sabonis. And all the fucking 13-year-olds gave me an earful. It's like, oh, what a casual take, blah, 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 blah. So much hype. You're overrating him. And the only reason I didn't do what you did and put him on my list is because I feel like over the last 2 weeks, people are starting to realize that I'm right. And like he got the 5x5. He almost did it twice in a row. And people were like, oh, wow, he is a star. I'm paying attention now. So I assume now people have come around to it. So I didn't do that. But listen, I'm not going to argue down for it. I agree. He's still, plenty of people are still going to be like, oh, he's just a rookie, too much hype. He's just ball with clout. You're right. He's a legit star already. All-star level easily.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I have to sit down and think here to myself, like, okay, like, yeah, I see him. The team is ass all around, but that has little to nothing to do with him and who he is as a player. This tweet is ridiculous, Isaac. Can you read it out loud for the people?
This is hilarious.
Have some shame, please.
I forgot about that. That was back in November. Yeah, I'm not new to this Wemby Glaze shit.
This man said, every time I look over, you're watching the Spurs. You're obsessed with them. Quote unquote, right there, your girlfriend.
Bro, she said that for real. I didn't even make that shit up. She really told me that. So you watched them a lot.
Yeah. Are you obsessed with him or what?
Bro, it was November 5th. It was like 2 weeks into the season. I was like, of course I'm watching him.
Yeah, no, you were on to some, bro. You were on to some, and you're right for that. But I'm like here officially crying. I'm like, let me get back to my original sentiment. If he was on a great team, or if his team already had something built in place, similar to the San Antonio Spurs when they drafted initially Tim Duncan, he could help lead a team to a championship immediately as like the first 1A, 1B option, whatever fucking way you want to put it. Whatever fucking way you want to put it. Sure. He could do that. But there's literally nothing around him. And like, again, I've been saying this entire time, Greg Popovich is actively sabotaging his rookie season and just how great he could be and also his team could be, which is like smart in my opinion. I would be doing the same exact shit.
Yeah, well, he stopped doing that. He's not sabotaging him anymore. That's why he's taking this leap and why we're all saying, oh, he's an all-star already, because Greg Popovich stopped starting him. You never see Zach Collins starting anymore. You never see Jeremy Sohan at point guard anymore because they realize, okay, let's put Wemby in a position to succeed. Yeah. We tanked enough. We're going to have a top pick. Let's let him thrive. And he's been doing all this still on minutes restriction. People pull out a lot of ESPN-ass stats where it's like rookies that average 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks, and blah, blah, blah. Every time they do it, it's just crazy because he's in all these conversations of like ridiculous accolades for the start of your career, despite only playing 28 minutes per game for the season. Like, whenever, if you look at his per 36-minute stats, he's averaging like 26 points and 12 rebounds and like 4.5 blocks. He's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. Listen, on Monday's stream, I said, and I'm with Isaac. And I'm actually with both of you guys. I do think that he's underrated, but I didn't put him on my list because I feel like since the 5x5 game, everybody's kind of been like, okay, this is kind of crazy. But I said on Monday's stream, I'm calling him the Avatar. Like that's my nickname for him. He is the guy who's going to come and save the world from all the nastiest discourses of all time, because it's so very clear that if he hits his potential, right, which is for him just staying healthy and doing what he's doing, if he does that, he's going to be the greatest player of all time. And it feels, it feels, listen, it feels crazy, obviously, to say that. But every single night, there is something that he does that you've never seen before. And his ability to block shots, to impact shots. I mean, he took a step back 3 on Kyle Anderson after some. He's 7'5".
He made that man dance. That's crazy.
He's not supposed to be doing that. And the fact that his 3-point shot is mid in a good way, right? It's very passable, and he's still.
This is the worst it's ever going to be.
Exactly.
It's not even mid anymore. Off the dribble, he's shooting close to 40% on pull-up. He just can't hit spot-up threes on catch and shoot for some reason.
That's
but his pull-up shots are like 38%. He's like not mid-shooter anymore.
That's crazy. But Mo's right. This is the worst he's gonna be. And I think we should all just get on board now. This guy is going to be the face of the league, the dominating force of the league for years to come. And so you can either be on time at this point or you could be late.
Yeah, and if you're somebody who's getting mad at me in the tier list for saying he's better than Sengun, I hate you and you're wrong.
Yeah, no, they're terribly wrong. I'm ready to go ahead and say this dude is probably a top 3 center in the NBA right now. And
not top 3 because we have 3 stars. He's not better than Jokic, Embiid, and AD. But right after that,
I forget AD is a center as well.
Right after that, he's there.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely in that next tier.
And listen, by this time next year, I'm not sure he's going to be outside the top 3.
Exactly.
It'll be impossible.
Yeah, this time next year, I don't know. It's going to be spooky for Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I agree. Who's next on your list, Isaac?
I'll go my number 10. Let me open up. No, I'll go somebody. Let's go another popular pick right away.
Okay.
I'm going to go Trae Young.
Woo. Okay.
Yes.
I put this at 10 because this is another one that's like, yeah, he's underrated, but he's a star, right? So like underrated only means so much. But, there had to be a whole media PR campaign of outrage for him to be selected to an all-star as an alternate when he should have been there to begin with. He has been taken for granted by the NBA media world because toxicity, daily news cycle of first take ass TV conversations has led people to believe that he's just like this selfish ball hog that only gets numbers and can't win and all this bullshit because the team has done a terrible job of building a young core around him. They've missed on key draft picks. They traded for a point guard that doesn't fit with him. Coaching mishaps along the way. All these things has led to the Hawks fumbling what looked like a promising rebuild. And instead of analyzing these reasons to why they failed as an organization, you just have these people up here. I don't know who's the talking heads at the top of the Trae Young hate train. I don't know. Stephen A. Smith. It's always easy to say.
A whole lot of people are at the ringer. Let's say that.
You got Bill Simmons up here. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't think he got it. I think it's empty stats. And then everybody runs with it and thinks it's true. And the narrative is stuck and it's never going away until he wins a championship.
Okay,
sounds like you listen to a lot of Bill Simmons, bro.
we were talking about this before we started. There's nobody in the world who is better at giving impressions on a 1-second notice than Isaac. I think just straight off the dome, he's just thinking your impressions are fantastic.
Was that a good Bill Simmons? I don't even know.
That was a generational.
Even if it's not, eyes, I would have felt like I was.
Yeah, if you look at a picture of Bill Simmons and rerun that voice, oh my fucking god, that has to be Bill Simmons. That's your talent.
The thing is, though, I can't do it a second time. If I try to do it again and think about it, it's gonna be horrible.
Exactly. Yeah. Straight
Nick Wright or something. One hit quit. But yeah, man, he's been taken for granted. He is one of the most talented players to ever be like a 2 or 3-time All-Star, whatever he has. His production from this point of his career, this early through like 5 or 6 years, is ridiculous. And I'm just praying the Hawks get it together so we can stop pretending he's some like, I don't even know who to throw out this comparison to not get disrespectful, but people act like he's a lot worse than he really is.
I'm praying that he goes somewhere else because the Hawks are not getting it together. And for him to receive the flowers, he's going to have to go somewhere that already has either a good infrastructure or he can pair up with another legitimate star. Because yes, the first take media stuff, that happens. There are also limitations to having Trae Young as your like number one guy center in the offense. So there are like a couple reasons why they are mid, but he needs help legitimately. And so he's gonna have to go into one of these really, really good situations for him to step up.
Yeah, I think he shouldn't be the best player on his team. But that's not to say he's not like great, right? Like I don't think that diminishes him. I think in our top 30 we did around Christmas time, I put him like 25. And that's also because he had a slow start to the year. So maybe I was dinging him a little bit, but like, sure, he's the 20th best player in the league, maybe at the high end, 25th on the low end. That's a legit star. That should be an all-star most years, especially in the weak-ass East. But I think he should probably be paired with a top 12 player or so that can be a go-to scorer that doesn't have the size limitations. Like we talked about a couple weeks ago that we want to see him on the Spurs when those trade rumors came. Him and Wemby would be amazing. I would love to see that. Like that's exactly the type of player he needs to be paired with.
Yeah. I can agree with that for sure. I don't think anybody should hear that and take it as a slight because only realistically speaking, like 8 people in the entire world have the ability to be the number one option on a championship team. And from like 9 to 15, sometimes it's just like simply not good enough to be that. And that's completely okay. But to be a high level second option at times look like the number one option, that's who Trae Young is. Not a lot of people will be willing to go ahead and give him his flowers or notice. And like, have the ability to just internalize how good he is until he's out of Atlanta. You tell me this man's been in the league for 6 years and you've only found him one foundational piece. And it wasn't until over the last 6-7 months. this tweet is crazy.
This tweet. On March 1st, 2019, I tweeted this. It says, Bill Simmons watching Trae Young prosper, and it's a picture of Hank Hill pissed off. I forgot that Bill Simmons is a famous Trae Young hater.
Yes!
That slipped my mind.
Yo, every morning he had...
2019.
Every morning, this man wakes up. Bill Simmons wakes up. He's like, yo, everybody starting off the Ringer meeting. Hate on Trae Young. I don't give a fuck if it's true or false. Spread negativity.
For the audio listeners,
is there a 2021 version?
Facts. And on January 23rd, 2020, I tweeted, Bill Simmons, the second he saw Trae Young make an all-star game. It's a video of somebody screaming.
Yeah, no. Any Trae Young positivity articles do not get passed on the Ringer, bro. They don't get pushed at all, bro. They don't support that shit.
That's hilarious. Empty stats, man. It's ridiculous.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
That's funny.
But
shout out Bill Simmons. It's my goat. I haven't watched him in like 7 years, but he's the reason I got into sports media. So shout out.
Listen, he paved the way. Still, we have to send our respects. I agree. Facts.
Listen, he's over the hill. We have him in the retirement home over there shouting with his cousins or whatever on his podcast. But at one point, he was the GOAT.
That's hilarious.
Who's your next player? Who's your number 10, Donovan? Oh, no, I forgot. You gave 10 and 9. Who's your number 8?
All right, we're going to continue on this path of giving players who are actually really good, but we're just calling them underrated. I'm going with Bam Adebayo.
Okay. I
think that
interesting
because at this time next year and even going into next season, I'm anticipating all the talk to be about Victor Wembanyama and how good he is and how high he has jumped up the center rankings. And in that, he's going to be above Bam Adebayo. And I think
he is.
Exactly. And I think that after that happens, like mainstream wise, and it's kind of just like accept. And my goodness, I'm sorry, Nikhil's out here slandering my name in the production group chat. But after that happens, a lot of people are gonna take Bam for granted. They're not gonna appreciate everything that he's doing because offensively, his passing has gotten better. He is averaging the same amount of points, but like he's been very, very good offensively, and he continues to take leaps and steps forward to be better. He's still one of the best and most versatile defenders in the NBA. And so even next year, whenever we're looking at Vic and like, okay, is he 4 or is he 3? Let's not lose sight on how good Bam is because the Heat have had a lot of rotational issues this year, and Bam has been a very big reason as to why they are still, one of the teams that we think we can look up in June, and they're going to be in the finals.
1,000%.
Absolutely right.
I think at least a trend for my list is defensive-oriented players because NBA fans as a whole have a very hard time like appreciating defense, I'll say. Mm-hmm. Because, statistically in the NBA, all the numbers that have been prioritized, which I guess is an issue of the early days of basketball and how the box score was calculated. All the numbers that we could look at and talk about are offensive oriented, besides blocks and steals. Other than that, it's just a sport that is easily quantifiable offensively, but defensively, you have to really watch to see somebody's value and really have to watch with like a viewpoint of knowing what to look for. Most people just like don't care enough. So because of that, defensive players get taken advantage of a lot. And I think people always say that Draymond Green is a litmus test for how kind of NBA fan you are. Bam Adebayo is right up there because he's the same type of player that does a million small things defensively that aren't blocks and steals, right? But he makes every play defensively easier for all of his teammates. He's always there to help if somebody gets beat. Just like the perfect defensive player you want in a team defense.
Yeah. Yeah, so I
love to hear that.
He's 8.
I love to hear that. Yeah, I can completely agree with that. All right, what is this tweet?
Oh my God.
It says,
look at this tweet from 2020.
The reason why I'd rather have him on my team than any... Oh, so listen. Look at the date of this. When did this happen? September 2020. All right? This was,
Nikhil's coming out with
bubble.
Bangers today.
This was the bubble, and I watched Joel Embiid put up the most atrocious performance ever. Now, yes, this is Ben Simmons wasn't on this team because I think Ben Simmons was hurt at this point in time period. And at this point in time, I was just straight yapping. All right, you click on the link. On God, you can't find that video anywhere. This tweet, I gotta delete it now. All right. By the time this episode comes out, you're not finding it. Bam! I told you, it's not fucking there anymore. I scrubbed this bitch clean, and now by the time this podcast episode is not showing up.
That's hilarious. For all your listeners, a tweet where Mo said, performances like these are why I'd rather have Bam on my team any day over Joel Embiid.
Yeah, exactly. And that time period was just absolutely disgusting, and the conversations happening around Joel Embiid was just down the toilet.
Yeah. No, I understand that. This is pre-MVP league too, so Joel Embiid considerably improved since then.
Nikhil is an op right now, bro. He just quote tweeted that.
He just quote tweeted it. That's hilarious.
He act like I can't delete it. I'm doing it right now.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
I'll go to the next player on my list. Let's transition a little bit away from stars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a step down, but still a good player. Aaron Gordon is my number 9.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with Aaron Gordon. The more I think about it, he's probably my favorite role player in the league right now.
Munch.
Probably. Every time we have conversations about teams that can't get to the rim or aren't physical, I'm always like, since the start of the season, I'm like, they need an Aaron Gordon. Every contender needs an Aaron Gordon. He is the perfect player that makes the Nuggets the contender they are. You know, much is made about they don't have a backup center. In the playoffs, that shit doesn't matter because Aaron Gordon is your backup 5 for the 12 minutes that Jokic isn't playing. In starting lineup, right? Jokic isn't the strongest defender in the world. He's gotten better. He's really smart. He's not really a negative anymore. But when they first got him, they needed a strong defender there. Aaron Gordon has weak side protection. Aaron Gordon is the best, power wing defender in the league, I think. The type of guy you want to defend Kawhi Leonard, that type of thing. The ideal guy for that while being able to play it big. He can defend wings. Offensively, he is having a terrible shooting season right now, but we'll ignore that. But he's great at being able to attack mismatches with his power, right? He has the experience when he was younger, having to beat the one option, doing stuff with the ball in his hands. Quickly learned that's not him, right? He's not LeBron. He can't play like that. But like we saw in the playoffs last year against Miami, when they need him to, he can attack a mismatch and pull that out and come up with clutch shots. I'm just naming all. He's a good passer, right? I'm just naming all these things he can do. He's just like the perfect Swiss Army knife that can play any role this team needs from him. And it's just the ideal player you need next to stars who are going to do their role all the time.
I 1,000% agree, bruh. And he's like the perfect archetype for what a lot of teams typically try to look for when it comes to building around a young star point guard or a star center. Some do it all. Some do it all power forward who can do a hell of a lot of other things. And Aaron Gordon has had like a lot of those reps, and he had those training wheels on back when he was in Orlando when they were trying to turn him into someone like Paolo Banchero now, and he just wasn't that, he didn't have that in his bag, but he could do a lot of different things. He had a lot of good stretches of shooting, but he was never like a consistent shooter. Had a lot of good stretches of being like a good passer and facilitator back when he played with Victor Oladipo, but he was never truly that. And over here, delegating a lot of those roles and asking him to do those things in glimpses is like perfect for him and who he is, and he's probably the third most important player on the Denver Nuggets if you were to ask me right now.
Easily. He's the archetype of what the Cavs, he's the archetype for what the Hawks drafted DeAndre Hunter to be, what the Bulls drafted Patrick Williams to be. All these guys that get drafted as being big wings, that like, oh, maybe one day they can be Kawhi. The teams know they're not going to be Kawhi, but they're hoping he can be Aaron Gordon, because that's a realistic outcome for the type of guy that you give him on-ball reps early in his career, but then when they realize it's not him, you make him focus on his strengths as a supporting player, and he can use that experience to just amplify that and be the best version of a role player. Aaron
Gordon looks like he should be a 0 and D player. Like he's built so strong that that you look at him and you're like, okay, there's just no reason for you to be somewhat skilled offensively. Like I see you on the floor and I know what you're here for. You are here to make the game muddy, to do all that. And the fact that he can do some of the other stuff is like Isaac said, like that versatility is crazy. I
think I know why you're saying that.
Why?
It's because he's built like Kenneth Faried. Now he has the dreads. So he reminds me of Kenneth Faried.
That's hilarious. Oh my God, the man and I miss him.
Yes.
I don't think you would have said that pre-dreads. I don't think you would have.
Probably not. Well, listen, his 3-point shot sometimes be looking very Andre Roberson, but so
this year has been rough.
Yeah,
previous years he's fine.
There's still some of that. So maybe that's where it's coming in. But yeah, the fact that he can do a little bit of everything, I agree. He definitely is the third most important player on this team.
Yeah, and listen, defensively, the second most important player, right? Like in many ways, he is not
easily.
So their ceiling is defined by Jamal Murray because he turns into God in the postseason. Mm-hmm. But like on a game-to-game basis on a regular season, like I would, especially when he's not playing good teams and he doesn't have that Super Saiyan level up, I'd argue he's just as important as Jamal Murray on most nights.
Interesting.
Damn.
Okay.
Obviously,
I
different
think
ways,
that's-
right?
I think
People
that's
are
fair
gonna
to
go
say.
towards a score, but
Yeah. There's defense. The whole other half, and sadly, that half isn't as paid attention to or valued enough through the stats or anything like that. And damn, this is kind of disgusting. I said my underrated starting five: Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, who at that time was actually
you pick
a
good
real
players.
threat. Yeah,
No, this is a good 2018 list.
Yeah, Chris Middleton was a god. I remember back then he was slaying the Celtics, bro. He put up insane numbers back in them days.
Yeah.
Eric Gordon and Dario Saric.
Look
It was
at
a good
you.
list. I knew ball back then, bro.
No one ball.
That's a good 2018 list
That's
for sure.
good.
I was in my bag. But to stay on topic in terms of like this archetype of player, going back to the Atlanta Hawks, you said that they drafted DeAndre Hunter to be that caliber. No, they really just saw like Kawhi Leonard, like you just said. They wanted him to be that two-way god. But they accidentally stumbled into their way. Jalen Johnson, who went to Duke, of course, and he is in the exact same mold as Aaron Gordon. I think of these like super strong, athletic, tall wings who aren't the best shooters necessarily, but can give you that defense, have some passing chops in their bag, and also have the ability to push the pace and navigate an offense at times and stretches too. Basically like a 50-year-old version of LeBron James. That's how I think about it. Just way worse version of LeBron at everything, bro. That's what you
He's
are.
your next player?
Exactly. Jalen Johnson
He's crazy.
is my
next player as well.
Boom! There we go. He's in the exact same he's in the exact same lens as someone like Aaron Gordon, and I think he's just like a lot. I don't want to say he's a lot more talented than Aaron Gordon, but it seems like he'll be able to thrive as this archetype a lot longer because of how young he is. Of course, there was a couple years that he missed out on these opportunities, but now that Trae Young is out, he will have fucking the sky's potential, and he, in my opinion, I could see him turn into like a borderline 20-point per game scorer towards the end of his career if he was on his trajectory.
Yeah, again, I have him on my list as well for all the same reasons, right? He's the ideal power wing to play next to a guard like Trae Young, and he's the reason that DeJounte Murray was available at the deadline, because they saw that this guy can step into that role we need, and DeJounte is expendable. We can find somebody who fits better, replenish our depth and whatnot. He's the godsend for them. Without him, their season would be lost.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah. This would be the deep 2 instead of the deep 3 if I didn't have him on my team.
For sure. If there's any hope of Trae Young staying in Atlanta, if they have any hope of like actually rebuilding this team, it's going to be because they have Trae Young and Jalen Johnson. And if he didn't miss a whole bunch of games at the start of the year, he'd probably win Most Improved Player. It would either be like, if we're talking about in the spirit of the award, I know Tyrese Maxey is having a fantastic year. He's probably going to win it. But if we were actually talking about what the award really is about, Jalen Johnson is up there for sure if he didn't miss those games.
Yeah, he'd be in the running for damn sure.
Yeah.
Again, 65 game rule, but it is what it is. There's plenty of other people that could win it. So this isn't the one I'm super mad about. But
Exactly.
do you guys think he can be an all-star?
I think he definitely could be. Or at very minimum, he could be an all-star replacement. I think that may be the conversation for him because I don't know if he'll ever be popular enough to go ahead and do so.
Yeah, I don't think he'll get to the point of being a consistent all-star, but I can see him sneaking into one day, maybe, if things break right.
Yeah, I mean, if there's an all-star game in Atlanta, which there might be towards the back half of the 2020s, he's going to be an all-star for sure.
He's definitely a borderline potential fringe all-star. That's the category that I would have him in.
If you know, you know. Oh my god,
That's hilarious.
yeah, that is lit.
Donovan, who's your next player?
My next player is Mr. Grayson Allen.
Good pick. I
Oh,
was thinking about that.
same! Oh my gosh, we are here.
Grayson Allen has been fantastic for the Suns this year. And listen, he's almost at 50, 40, 90 with the way that he's shooting. He's leading the league in 3-point percentage right now. Grayson Allen is playing the third most minutes on the Suns. And with Bradley Beal coming in and out the lineup, having that third scoring punch, having somebody who can also space the floor with KD and Book operating in the mid-range the way that they do, right? Opening up driving lanes. He is so crucial to everything that they do. At the trade deadline, people were talking about, the Suns making moves, and there was rumors of, maybe Grayson Allen would be moved. And Suns fans were irate. They were like, you cannot trade Grayson Allen. And it was warranted because he's been so good for them this year. And I think that, like, when you look at the Suns, they're obviously top heavy. You look at their big three, and sometimes even Yusuf Nurkic might get a little bit more recognition just because of his, like, he's been around, you know him. He played with Dame for a long time. Grayson Allen is that guy on this team, and he's very, very crucial.
Oh, yeah. The DeAndre Ayton trade is what it was labeled as. This shit was the Grayson Allen trade. He's been the most important player for either team. If they didn't have him, they would be so detrimentally down bad.
Yeah,
facts.
They had, outside of him, their supporting players are like Eric Gordon, Cade Diop, Yuta Watanabe, all these guys who are no longer on the team, besides Eric Gordon, who has just been whatever. Without him, for those early days when Bradley Beal and Devin Booker were hurt and KD had the team on his back, if they didn't have Grayson Allen there being a flamethrower, they would have been in such a big hole. We'd be talking about them a lot differently, especially at the deadline.
100%.
I 110% agree.
He saved their season,
which is crazy because like it's Grayson Allen, right? Like you wouldn't think that he would be the glue that's keeping the Phoenix Suns together. And now they might not even be in the play-in. When before, I mean, we had an episode where I thought that they were kind of cooked because they were sliding, they were losing games like back to back to back, and I thought that they were for sure going to be a playing team. And now it's looking like that's not going to be the case, and it's all because of
overreacting,
and it's all because of Grayson Allen.
That's tough,
he deserves
man.
100% of the credit.
And I hate giving him credit so much, bro. I hate giving him credit, bro, because he's a scum around the NBA, or at least that's like been his known thing since he has been back at Duke as well. But
and he looks like Ted Cruz.
He's been exactly, bro. He's aging so fast, bro. I don't know what it is, but he looks like he's fucking 40 already, bro. God damn. But anyways, aside of that, like his game has been immaculate for them. He has been the saving grace for their season. I don't know what they would have done if he wasn't performing up to this level, this standard. If you're the Milwaukee Bucks, it kind of hurts seeing him play like this after he put up like an insane shit performance throughout the inconsistencies last year. But yeah, like he deserves to be on those lists. He's one of the most underrated players in the entire NBA. Wasn't granted a three-point shooting contest slot, which is insane to me, but who cares? No one's gonna remember at the end of the day. But he definitely deserves to be on that list, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. My next player.
Oh, you want to go ahead next? Go ahead. Let's hear it.
You're trying to skip me. You're trying to skip my ass. My next player is Mr. Jaden Ivey.
Pistons love. We love to hear it.
Yep. I told you Simone Fontecchio was an honorable mention of mine because I replaced him with another Pistons player, Jaden Ivey. I think people forget about him. He had a strong rookie year, right, with Cade Cunningham all year, and people kind of viewed him as one of the more promising players in the draft class. This season started, Monty Williams decided to just put on...
relax. You were about to go crazy.
Monty Williams did a war crime, and he decided to bench him and make him the 13th man in his rotation to start Killian Hayes, who is currently playing for the same team as you and I. And it was just a ridiculous asset deployment that, again, was at risk of ruining Jaden Ivey's,
career
development path, hurt his value on the trade market. So if they were going to get rid of him, putting him at 13th in rotation wasn't the way to fucking do it. But since then, somebody in the organization told him, you can't be doing this. We should probably play Jaden Ivey more. And he's talked about this, that he had to be given a nudge from somebody else on the team. And he's since given him minutes. He's back to being the starter. And he has been incredible. He is incredibly talented, has been on a heater over the last 2 months. And to me, is at the point where he is almost equally as valuable as Cade Cunningham to this organization. I think he's going to be a star guard as well.
Absolutely. I 110% agree. He's been the most positive outlook on their season. Outside of that, like Detroit they haven't had much to like be super happy about. Cade has been a lot better as of late specifically, but throughout the entire tenure of the season, Jaden Ivey has been the shining light. You see him, you see shades of several like former all-star, even current guards in his game because of the explosiveness, his ability to finish at the rim, and just the type of burst that he has is not rare to see in today's game, but the type of burst that he has at the size that he is, which is like 6'4", it's pretty impressive, bro.
Yeah. Over the last 32 games since he became a full-time starter again, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 39% from 3. Last year, he was at 6 assists per 36 minutes because, like I said, no Cade Cunningham. And I think that's closer to his real playmaking ability. He's a legit solid passer because of what you said. That burst and that ability to create rim pressure is just something you can't teach, right? And like it bears itself out in like every measurable way. He's 90th percentile in shooting foul drawn rate. He can get to the rim, cause pressure, make you foul him. And because of that, the team gets to the rim 5% more with him on the court. and all their transition numbers skyrocket. Like for a team that's so devoid of talent and ball handlers outside of Cade Cunningham, his ability to create penetration and kick out the shooters and whatnot, which, they don't got a lot of shooters, so it hasn't led to a lot of wins. But when they do have more shooters around him, that ability to create offense for himself and others is like completely crucial to what they do.
This guy was on the bench, man. That's ridiculous. He just wasn't playing. That's wild.
Bro, he's 92nd percentile on drives per 75 possessions and 92nd percentile on unassisted rim field goals. Those are numbers that are per 75 to like make up for the playing time differences. But that's elite numbers already for a guy who's in year 2 and playing with another ball handler with no spacing around him.
I'm sad to say, Isaac, but the Crown Eaters at home cannot like quantify what you just said and put it into picture. But that just means that he's really fucking good in translation, bro. He's really fucking good.
There it is. Really fucking good, really fucking fast, gets to the rim really fucking well.
Exactly. He's a great player. I guess we can move on to my next player. Man, I have been a known hater of this player, partly because he was a former player of one of the people here on this podcast, and it's RJ Barrett. God, when you think about the word mid, I in my head, if you look up the definition of the word mid alongside the Atlanta Hawks, you see a picture of RJ Barrett. That's who he is. He's just okay at everything. You don't really think that he has great qualities or anything like that, but at the same time, he's not necessarily like terrible. RJ Barrett has been the complete opposite of that since he's been a Toronto Raptor. I think it's been, 20, 30 games or whatever since the trade
21.
happened. Yeah, 21 games since the trade happened. And he's been a completely different player. And I believe a lot of that has to do with just the system that he's being a part of right now. Of course, New York is known to be a heavy ISO team. That's Jalen Brunson's bag, Julius Randle's bag. And someone like RJ Barrett, in my opinion, he's just not conducive in that environment. And when I see him, I think that he makes complete sense in the system that Toronto has, because he gets a lot of his buckets in a very organized way, meaning like the ball is constantly moving and he catches the defense while they're unorganized, while they're disorganized. And that's the best way to use him. He's shooting like 60-something% at the rim, which is immaculate. He's shooting like 38% at the 3-point line while he's been a Toronto Raptor. And he's been a completely different player who literally looks like a staple of their starting lineup.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm very happy that you said this, that you said RJ, because he was also on my list. And it's for the exact same reasons. It's for everything that you just said. And one of the main issues with RJ as a New York Knick was, especially like this season, when you had Brunson, when you had Randle, you know who your two stars are. And their play style is very ball dominant. It's very isolation. And so for RJ, who couldn't really figure out like where his role, where he was going to get his buckets, he was kind of relegated to, you're going to get your buckets at the rim and you're going to get them behind the 3-point line, because Brunson and Randle are going to be down there, especially if you're playing with Mitchell Robinson. There's not a lot of space to operate for RJ. That's not the case in Toronto, and he's finally making shots at the rim. He's finally knocking down his threes, and that's just opened up everything. And whenever this trade was made, I think I was very, very excited for what Immanuel Quickley was going to do alongside Scotty Barnes. I thought that he was going to be the one to take a leap, and it's been the other way around. RJ's been the very, very consistent one. He's been the one who's taken a step forward, and I'm happy for him. He has the home cooking going for him, and right now, because they're in Toronto, obviously, like, and they're not really in the playoff conversation like that, I think we can look up at the start of next year and be like, oh wait, like is there something, like, is there another spark that we didn't realize to this RJ Barrett thing? So yeah, he's definitely underrated right now.
Yeah, this is the first time in his career. Okay, so league average true shooting percentage, which for those who don't know, true shooting essentially does the math. So as what would happen if every shot was worth the same? 3-point shooting is worth more and free throws are worth more. It basically evens that out, and it gives you credit for being good from 3 and free throw line. Measures your total efficiency. A league average is like 55%. He's never been above 53% for a season, but now he's at 61 since joining the Raptors. So he's just night and day, like a much more efficient player, going from like one of the least efficient wings in the league to like legit elite scoring numbers. It's kind of crazy, honestly, for that like harsh of a turnaround over a sustained period.
Yeah, because we
And
were
I think-
out on RJ. And
Bro, yeah.
As you should be, right?
yeah.
Like he showed nothing
Yeah.
but garbage as a scorer.
As soon as he was traded, all the attention, you're right, Donovan, like you said earlier, was all towards Emmanuel quickly and what this means for him and his career alongside Scotty Barnes. But RJ Barrett his success is just as important as Emmanuel Quickly's career. Maybe not just as, but just a little bit more. He's around the same territory. And it just goes to show how important game plan is and system is for certain players. RJ Barrett can do ISO things once in a while, of course, but like that's not necessarily how you get your bang for your buck and maximize his potential. And their head coach over there, dude throwing pizza parties and shit like that, bro, I hope RJ Barrett gets extra slices because he fucking deserves it. Pooping his ass off.
Slices.
100% though.
Extra slices is hilarious.
He does.
Yeah, shout out to RJ,
he does
man.
deserve pizza.
Yeah, he deserves a lot of it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Dom, you want to go next player?
Yeah. We're going to go back to Detroit because another person that you had on your honorable
too.
mention is on my list, and that's Simone. How do you say his first name? Is it Simone?
Fontecchio.
I think it's Simone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Simone Fontecchio. That is my guy.
Let's go.
Listen, this guy is fire. He's great.
He's so good.
he's great. He like the best way that I can summarize watching him is he's always doing something. He's always just around. He's always around the ball. He's either making shots. He's making plays. And for a role player, I feel like that is one of the very key things that's honestly very hard for a lot of guys to be impactful, even when you're not like a high level scorer like that. Can you just be around the ball? Can you be the one and be like a good connector making plays? In Utah, they had a very democratized rotation, right? He wasn't getting a lot of minutes. Since being traded to Detroit, his scoring has gone up. He's averaging over 15 points per game. His shooting is up. He's been fantastic. He was going crazy last night against the Bulls. He is just a very, very good role player. And for the Pistons, for a team that has Jaden Ivey, who's not a great shooter, who has Cade Cunningham, not a great shooter, and Asar Thompson, and all these guys, the Pistons are notoriously down bad for not having shooters. Fontecchio is one of those guys who can legit space the floor for them. And so he's fantastic. And I'm a big fan of his.
Yeah. He's just the perfect player to play next to other good players, right? Like the perfect complement to, you'd imagine when you say that, you would think like, I want to see him play next to other stars. And so when he became available at the deadline, it was like, oh shit, a contender can squeak in and get this like big wing that can shoot the ball, pass the ball, defend well, move his feet, all this stuff. But instead, the Pistons made the smart move of realizing we have some young promising players. None of them are great shooters. We need some shooting around our team. It's all they can talk about. So let's go get this veteran. You know, he's 28. It's only his third year in the league, but it's because he played in Europe for a while. You would think wouldn't fit your timeline and like, why would I put assets into 28-year-old? But again, they need shooting, and he's the exact guy that can make life easier for these guards and just like alleviate the issues that are preventing them from developing the way they should be.
I 110% agree, man. Simone Fontecchio, top 10 name in the NBA too. I don't care what anybody says.
That is a cool name. What is he? Is that like an Italian name? Where's he from?
Yeah, he's Italian.
There's a lot of this in that name.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
a
A whole lot of that.
Italian
A whole lot of
stallion.
stroking the mustache.
I love him. See, I told you I put him on my honorable mentions. Main reason I did that is because I didn't want to have 3 Pistons on my list.
Yeah, you would be
I got one
disgusting
more.
for that.
Another one.
I got one more.
Bro, listen, this is so funny. A whole bunch of these players for us are just players on teams that we know nobody cares about at all anymore. And I promise you, when October rolls around next year, you guys are going to come back to this episode and be like, oh, wow, they were talking about such and such and such and such because nobody's watching them, but we are. And that's why we're here. We got y'all. So tell me on the Pistons, on the 9-48 Pistons or 10-48, whatever they are, tell me who's underrated.
This one's a little bit less of a deep cut. Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is fully the star he's made out to be, and the people have not forgotten about him. People still know Cade Cunningham has the allure, and because the team is so like famously historically garbage, I don't think he's getting slandered as much as he was at the start of the year. But I think people have kind of abandoned the idea of him being like an all-NBA guy, right? Like people are kind of just like, I'll believe it when I see it with him. But he's had 4 great games. Over his last 4 games, he's at 28.5 points, 58% from the field, 57% from 3, 6.3 assists. Just on a heater right now, which culminated with him dicing up the Chicago Bulls last night. He's fully the star and all-NBA guy in this draft class still. People forget about him, like I said. I watched the full game that we're showing the highlights to right now, him versus the Knicks. And the way that he could just shoot over Jalen Brunson and be unbothered by him and create his off-the-dribble step-back threes with the defender in his face, it's something that only him and Luka have with the shooting touch from that size. And the efficiency numbers haven't come around as well as you'd want them to yet. For similar reasons to what I said with Jaden Ivey. He's playing with terrible spacing. Monty Williams doesn't want to be good in his job on purpose because he wants to get fired and get all that money for free. Everything's been bad around this organization. He set up to fail. But that floater we just saw in the highlights being shown, the touch he has finishing around the rim, where he still hasn't gotten around to being able to go through contact and be an elite finisher. But his touch on floaters, his ability to hit tough step-back threes, the passing ability, the defense, it's all there. And I think in time, he's still going to be that legit star.
I 100% agree with you. What a great analysis. Something that's so hard to do is judge young players, especially when they're around a whole lot of shit, because then you can't see them truly unlocked. It's so hard. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack sometimes. It's okay, this dude looks shiny, but I can't really get a full grasp of it and see it thoroughly. But
firmly grasp it.
Oh, okay, nice. But yeah, at times with the Detroit Pistons,
it's a SpongeBob reference. It's not a pause.
Oh my God, these highlights are disgusting. I see James Wiseman playing on my screen, bro. But that's what Cade Cunningham had to deal with. How do you expect someone like him to go ahead and how do you expect someone like him to have inflated high assist numbers and low turnover rate when he's playing with these types of players who don't necessarily have what it takes to compete at a high level in the NBA? That's how I see it when it comes to Cade Cunningham. And so I think I'm still keeping my stock in terms of him being a top point guard in the NBA for sure.
Man, listen.
Yeah, the thing that
bro, we have 3 Pistons on the list, and they don't have 10 wins, and it's about to be March. It's crazy. I really do feel bad for them because their roster construction and obviously what Monty Williams has done, and we've talked about it so many times, it has just gone so poorly that I really hope this offseason they go out and they make some type of move to where they can prioritize something to help Ivy or something to help Cunningham, start to develop, because the time is ticking on Cade. We're already in year 3. He had some injury stuff his first 2 years. I want to be able to see him in a positive situation just so that we can 100% look at him and say, do you have it or is it the situation? And this offseason is crucial for Detroit.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me that we have to see still is that 3-point shot going to come around like we saw it in college? That's kind of what made him is he going to be one of the best guard prospects we've seen in a long time? Because in college, he was a genius defender, a genius passer, and an incredible shooter, or really in high school going into college. And the 3-point shooting hasn't come around yet. Right now, his pull-up percentage is terrible this year. It's at 32%. Catch and shoot is a little better at 36%. That needs to come around. But even if it doesn't, I've been very encouraged with his driving ability, which is something I kind of doubted early in the season, because it didn't seem like he quite had the burst to be a high-level guard finisher. Attacking the rim. He wasn't quite as fast as an Anthony Edwards or even a Jaden Ivey.
Something that I'll say, though, is that you don't have to have the burst. Guys like Luka and Shea are the perfect example. They have the same amount of athleticism as someone like Cade. It's about finding the angles and having the creativity. Yeah. And I don't think he necessarily had that at all.
Yeah, and he's gotten a lot better at that. I'm on Basketball Index, which has all their advanced analytics. And you look at the finishing tab, they do grades for each stat. It's straight A+, despite him being not incredibly efficient yet. It's just because he generates so much rim pressure to drive offense that these analytics that can look past basic field goal percentage fully see the talent there. They have an all-in-one metric called rim shot creation, 99th percentile for point guards. That means he's second in the NBA behind Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's gonna be one of the better finishers in the league once things come around. Like I said, with the spacing as he continues to develop physically.
Yeah.
And defensively, I have no doubts. Passing, I have no doubts. You got to preach patience with him, and
exactly.
We've seen a lot of guards come into the league and be immediately great, so it's kind of hard to preach patience. But Be patient.
Exactly, you're right. The Luka Doncic and Trae Youngs of the world just completely cooked expectations, absolutely. And on top of that, too, he's just a number 1 overall pick. And every top podcaster, everyone in social media is just going to be looking at you and eyeing every single thing that you do on the court. But yeah, I agree. Cade is in a specific, unique situation because of everything that's been happening around the NBA with all this young talent at his position just being elite immediately, and then him having to like get to a certain point, not being like off the rip efficient 20-point per game scorer. It's like, let's relax our expectations, get back to
rewind real quick, Nikhil. Did you see that pass that Jaden Ivey just did in these highlights?
No,
oh my goodness.
Go back one more time. Go back one more time. Look at Jaden Ivey at the top of the key.
Yeah, nah. Fucking
why are you swinging that bitch so hard?
Yeah, nah.
That
was a tough catch. I had both.
He put his whole body into that. That was so fucking powerful.
That is hilarious, bro.
That's fair.
All right, man. Who's your next player, Mo?
Yeah, so going up into my list, the next player that I have is someone who I believe is one of your favorite players in the NBA right now, Isaac, because you've been slobbing him like no other. J-Dub.
Oh, he's the number 1. You should have saved it. I was waiting for him to do last. Of course, he's on my list.
Wow, he's your number 1. That's crazy.
Obviously, he's my number 1.
That's fucking beautiful, bro. I'm happy
Way
to
to
say
spoil
that.
it.
Hey, we can go ahead and tag team this bitch right now. Where you want it?
Yeah, it's tag team J-Dub.
Okay.
Let's double team him. You go first. It's your player. You're up next. Tell us what you think about J-Dub.
Nah, J-Dub is a phenomenal player who's better than a lot of perennial all-star guards.
Say the name.
He's in the same level.
Say the name.
I saw a tweet earlier. He's better than Bradley
Exactly.
Beal. I saw that
Thank
debate
you.
earlier.
Thank you. That's who he's better
Damn.
than, and he is. And I'm with both of y'all. I was gonna put him on my
Good.
list, but I knew Isaac was gonna put him on his list. So I was like, he got it.
Listen, I have staked my claim on J-Dub Island anytime somebody's giving me a mic. And, it started, I think, on episode like 69 or something like that. I forget what the topic was. We were talking about Paolo Banchero versus Chet Holmgren. And I was like, we were debating who would you rather have. I think we all agreed Chet long-term, but Paolo's probably, having a better season. Whatever. It's a debate. And I was like, listen, I'm going to throw fucking J-Dub in there. I might want him more than Paolo. I think they're on equal footing. And you guys vehemently disagreed. We started arguing about it. The comments cooked me. I got roasted in the comments on one of our episodes more than I ever have in my life. People were like, when did Isaac decide Paolo Banchero was trash, huh? You're talking about him like he's a scrub. And I never meant that. I just meant that J-Dub is the most underrated young prospect in the NBA right now. And I think people are starting to realize that over the past month or so. People are coming around. He's currently shooting 45% from 3, the same as Kevin Durant. 49% from mid-range, 1% better than Kyrie Irving. 70% at the rim, the same as Anthony Edwards.
Get your narratives
20%
off.
assist percentage, the same as Jason Tatum, right?
Get your narratives off.
He checks every box you'd want from a high-level wing as a rookie, playing behind a high-usage guard that's already holding his total numbers back. I don't see a scenario where he's not a top 20 player in the NBA one day.
Nah, man. Like, I think something that doesn't help J-Dub right now when it comes to like his popularity and people understanding how talented he is that he's playing alongside pretty much a generational rookie in Chet Holmgren and all the amazing things that he's done. And like, it's very clear that he has been the second most stable force over there, and he's as much needed as Chet Holmgren. He's important. He's just as important in different ways, of course, because Chet is so valuable on defense. But J-Dub is just as impactful of a defender as well. Can block shots. He'll be in the passing lanes. He's super versatile because of his frame and wingspan and all that. Like, he's the whole 9, bro. Like, there's nothing that there's no situation on the court that I'll be uncomfortable with him doing. Like, and that's rare in the NBA to say. 100%.
Just when somebody has the verticality and the burst to finish at the rim like he does, like he's always catching lobs from say in transition. He has the off the dribble shooting ability that he almost is like Chris Paul, the way he can get to short mid range shots and just get it up over any defender like as a go to move. Mix that together with the passing and the dribbling. Like I've said this several times. I don't know what his flaw is right now.
It's tough,
Listen,
man.
y'all got it. Isaac, you convinced me because I've been on the J-Dub train as well. Like I think that he's very good, but I've been kind of holding off in terms of like top 20. That number has just been getting to me. I'm on board.
Easily.
I'm on board. He's gonna get there. He's gonna get there.
I'm being conservative at top 20.
Shout out to our homie CJ who looks exactly like J-Dub. By the way,
Facts are fucking twins.
listen,
Are you serious? That's hilarious.
We'll put up a picture, and you guys will see. But yeah,
I'm very excited to see what J-Dub does in a playoff setting because that's gonna do a lot for his reputation around the league. You know, one strong playoff run as a young player can really convince people when all their eyes are on you. And one bad playoff run can really make people not give a fuck about you until you prove them otherwise. It's the Anthony Edwards versus Sabonis thing where all people remember is your most recent playoff run. I'm praying he doesn't fumble because then I'm going to look real stupid.
No, I'm dead, bro. That'll be hilarious.
All my stock is here. I'm going to go tumbling down. If not, it's going to be bad.
It's going to be bad. But it's okay. I'll be there to defend you. Donovan, who's your next player?
My next player, I'm going with Franz Wagner. I think that Franz Wagner is still underrated because, and the only reason why I think this is because of injury. He got hurt, and there was a stretch where Paolo had to do really everything offensively, and I think that because of that, Paolo is the one who got the All-Star nod. Paolo's also having a better season. He's a better player, but it feels like it's kind of become Paolo and then the rest of the Magic, whereas coming into this year, I thought that both of them could be all-stars this year. The building block and the core of this team is very much Paolo and Franz. And Franz he's a great scorer. He's averaging 21, 5 and 4. He's a good defender. A majority of the Magic's best lineups include him, even when Paolo's not on the floor, right? Defensively, they are very, very good when he's on the floor, right? Versus whenever he's off. And I think that as the season continues and as he, obviously gets healthy because he is healthy, but as he continues to play well, once we get to the playoffs and the play-in and all that type of stuff, then people will start to come around and be like, oh yeah, we forgot Franz Wagner is this good. We forgot that he is this big and can handle the ball, can put the ball on the floor. He's not having a great year shooting, which I think has probably also contributed to a lot of people not seeing him in the light that I think that he is. But for the 2 years prior to this, he was a solid shooter. He was okay. And I think that eventually he'll get back to that. And then we can start talking about Franz Wagner as that guy again. But he's really, really good. I don't think we're talking about it enough.
Yeah. Chicago Wolves
he's a lot closer.
You.
He's a lot closer to as good of a player as Paolo Banchero is than people realize. Like how you said the narrative has come Paolo and then a bunch of everybody else. That's why he was an all-star because he's carrying a roster of nothing. Franz is neck and neck with him. Sure, you can give Paolo the nod now. He's a better passer, I guess. But scoring-wise, they're very similar. And now Paolo profiles long-term to be a better scorer, that size and that athleticism. But right now, it's very close.
Yes. How do you feel about that, Mo?
No, I agree. I want to divert the attention back to Isaac real quick for 2 seconds because you're painting yourself as the known Paolo Banchero hater. Every single time you talk about him, it's yeah, but he's not as good as this and that. And it just needs to be clarified that you don't fucking hate him at all. It just sometimes you have questions about who he really is, which is fine when it comes to every single
I don't even have
player.
questions about who he really is. I just think Franz is just as good. I think Paolo's good. I think he's good as everybody else does. I just think Franz is, like Donovan said, very slept on. He just, again, doesn't have number one pick hype, doesn't have the American player hype, doesn't have, he hasn't been available this year, but by every measurable way, he's neck and neck with him.
I guess, yeah, I would say I wouldn't necessarily agree with him neck and neck, but I would say in terms of importance, he's pretty much just around the same level as Paolo, which means the same exact thing as around neck and neck or whatever. But regardless of the fact, yeah, it doesn't help necessarily because Franz was hurt for a chunk of the year. I want to say 15, 20 games ago or whatever. And the Orlando Magic did see a dip in terms of the wins and loss column, but Paolo was able to keep them just afloat. And I think next year, a lot of people will be awake once the Orlando Magic, probably become a 7 or a 6, maybe even as high as a 4 or 5 seed next year. Once it corrects all the wrongs on their roster in terms of shooting. But yeah, hopefully people wake up when it comes to him and his production next year.
I agree. He's great. Whose player was that? Is that yours, Donovan?
Yeah, that was my guy. I guess
it's back to me. This is going to be real quick. I got Deni Avdija.
Woo! Good pick.
I love it.
Deni is the next role player that's just rotting away on a good team that needs to be free to go be somebody's Aaron Gordon or whatever. He's the next one of that. He's a big wing who can shoot 41% from three, 72% at the rim. And defensively, he's incredibly impressive. Again, back to these basketball index stats. He spends 49% of his defensive possessions guarding somebody with over 35% usage.
Wow.
I mean, over 30%. And they divide that into like usage tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 to kind of like show like a pseudo option. So 49% of his defensive possessions, he's guarding the first option of the team. That's incredibly high. That roster has no talent, and he's their true wing stopper. Like, he takes the toughest assignment every night, has no issues. He's extremely talented on that end. And offensively, he's taken leaps. In previous years, he's kind of been the type of guy that like every Wizards fan is like, please shoot more. What are you doing? Why are you scared? And this year, he's stepping into those shoes a lot better, developing, like I said, 41% from three, and just becoming one of those guys like Aaron Gordon that just checks all the boxes and will contribute to a winning team if given the opportunity.
So back in the year of Corona 2020, I was back in fucking Georgia, bro, in the dungeon, and I was making out predictions. I posted YouTube videos, Mojo99, go check it out. I'm not fucking lying. It's called like NBA Draft Stock Market or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. And I said, yo, I'm really high on Deni Avdija. When I see him, I see a lot of shades of Ben Simmons plus eventually, hopefully, a fucking slight jump shot. And he's gotten to that point. Deni Avdija back in the Israeli league that he played in.
Sneezes.
I know. Oh my goodness, bro. Blew all the goddamn dust away with that bitch. Goddamn. But yeah, Deni Avdija profiled as a really good damn player in the transition, was super able as a passer and could run the offense at times, at spurts, at that size, which is of course where the Ben Simmons comparisons came out to be. But of course he wasn't that level of athlete, but he young is out on the defensive end as well, or at least developed for that to be a very strong part of his game. And now that the shot has come around and the consistency of being willing to take them, he becomes a whole new type of valuable player in the NBA. And someone who was a Deni Avdija truther. I don't know anybody in the goddamn earth who said this shit, but now I'm proud as hell to say that. It makes me happy to see that he's fulfilling his potential. Yeah, exactly. I'm a lone man in this bitch.
Shout out him. Who's your next player?
Oh, man. So my next player coming after Deni Avdija is actually Jarrett Allen.
He's my number 2 on my list right after Jalen Williams.
He's on my list too.
Look
at us.
Look at that.
Look at us. We are all over here.
I don't think that there's
Jarrett
been a pick
Allen
today that any one of us has been like, you tripping on that one. I think we're all generally like, yeah, these guys are underrated. We're doing good. Proud of us.
I agree, bro. I agree. Jarrett Allen is so special when it comes to like his development over the years has been great. He's already been an all-star a couple years ago when the all-star game was at Cleveland, and he deserved that for sure. But to see him still maintain that level of play and even become better when it comes to the type of passing reads that he's been able to make, still a tremendous player when it comes to defense on the court. He has had on that end as well, and just growing his bag and expanding his offensive capabilities once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Being able to score 10 feet away from the rim, sometimes 16, 17 feet away from the rim, makes the most difference in the world and makes you so much more valuable as a player. And the second that I don't know if he will hit the trade market, but if that ever happens, so many teams are going to be on his back. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, he's incredible. Anthony Davis is one of the most active defenders in the league, helps his teammates the most, carries the most weight around him to protect the rim. And he defends 42% of opponent shots at the rim. He finds a way to affect it 42% of the time. Jarrett Allen is at 47% this year.
Damn!
Is everywhere. Everywhere. If there's a shot being taken at the rim, almost half the time he is there to stop it or at least make it difficult for you. Just one of the more active rim protectors in the league. One of the best roll men in the league. Like you said, a good short roll passer. Can do some stuff with the ball in his hands as a finisher that isn't just catching lobs. Like, he's actually talented and making moves when needed to like do little drop steps and stuff. Full package for a roll man.
Every time that I see Jarrett Allen, I'm so disappointed that he gave us the quote of "the lights were too bright." Because I'm like, you're so good, and like I want to big you up. But anytime you have a bad game, that quote is gonna come out, and people just aren't gonna understand like how good you are. They're not gonna understand the fact that you, like Mo said, you have a bag now, and you are like legitimately impactful on both ends of the floor. And even for a team that we've kind of criticized the roster construction with the two bigs, with him and Mobley, both of the bigs have started to add a little bit more. And like the Cavs, even without Mobley this year, like they were the number one defense last year because they had Mobley and Allen. And even without Mobley this year, they made that run up to the second seed in the East because Jarrett Allen was that dominant. And he has been so good. I think that like, nah, man, he's great. I really wish that he did not give us that quote, because now it's gonna be used. Now it's gonna be used against him at every turn.
That's fucking hilarious.
I really wish that. What was the coach that got fired? Oh, Kenny Atkinson. Mm-hmm. I really wish that Kenny Atkinson didn't have to start DeAndre Jordan over Jarrett Allen whenever Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant signed for politics reasons. Because this Jarrett Allen would have been really fucking cool to see next to Kyrie and KD. I'll tell you that.
They would
perfect fit, bro.
These players can't be GMs, man.
Yeah. Granted, he got traded as a part of the James Harden thing, so like, that's why. So you make that move every time, but man. See, it's nice that he landed with another team that became a contender. We can really appreciate him on this high-level team like this.
And as we say that, he just got crossed up and put on the ground by Luka.
I promise we know what we're talking about, yo. It's Luka Doncic.
Raw play, bro. The way he makes people think he thinks it's going to be a shot. Niang runs up, makes it to a lob. Luka's a genius.
That's disgusting, bro. That is disgusting. Sometimes it's,
you
know, when you see a different player or this player, no one cares though. Why it's a crossover in my eyes.
You crossover, you just step back.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
But it's a forearm to the chest.
You know, a player is special when it comes to like when you're watching a game, you have like the most vision that anybody can have, and you see this star player make a move that you didn't see coming from 10 miles away, bro. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
vision is crazy.
All right, who's your next player? Or who's up next? Who said that?
Who's it?
I think
Mo said it. Mo said
that was Mo. Donovan, who's your next player?
All right, I'm gonna make this very quick. I had to get my homer stuff in. Isaiah Hartenstein is very underrated.
Good pick. Good
nice.
I think that the Knicks,
and that's all Knicks talk for today. Next player.
Woo!
Listen, real
we love to fucking see it, bro.
Understand that the Knicks hold things similar to what the Cavs were last year, where they have these two bigs and their defense is kind of based around it. The Knicks were able to create an identity around offensive rebounding, and that's because Robinson's starting, and then he comes off, and Hartenstein is able to come in, back him up, and do the exact same thing. Mitchell's been hurt the entire year, and Hartenstein is like, you know what? I can do this full time. And the Knicks, whenever he's on the floor, the Knicks are still a great rebounding team. He stepped into that role fantastic. I just want to show him some love.
I love him. He's on my fantasy team. Great pickup. Got him for nothing off the waiver wire. Done numbers.
Eating.
That's hilarious.
He's great. I was going to put him on my list too. I just didn't have enough space, but he's up there. Yeah. Somebody else, I'll quickly also mention a role player I have on my list. Herb Jones.
Yeah.
Fire.
The Pelicans have currently a top 10 defense in the league. They're starting Zion Williamson, bad defender. Jonas Valanciunas, pretty fucking bad defender. Brandon Ingram, not a good defender. CJ McCollum, certainly not a good defender. 4 players aren't good at defense, but Herb Jones is motherfucking Superman, putting the best player on the enemy team in a straitjacket every night, sending them to jail, as Jokic Josar always says on his TikTok, talking about Herb. This man is one of the rare, like, legitimate lockdown defenders in the NBA when it's as hard as ever to be effective on the perimeter with the way the game is played. Mm-hmm. He puts people in jail legitimately and carries that defense in a way you don't really see from a perimeter defender very often, since, he can only defend one guy at a time. He's not like a big that can rotate everywhere. He is incredible on that end and is currently shooting 40% for 3 for the year, which if he's going to be doing that, he's one of the best role players in the NBA.
Ooh, good grief, man.
We love Herb Jones
love
out here.
To see it.
We really do.
I wish I had him on my team. Yeah, that is
It's just
true.
funny his name is Herb. Like that type of name, you got to be gritty.
That's such an old Southern name. Just Herb.
I know,
Herbert.
bro.
Yeah.
Facts. Old Southern dude who just seems financially responsible, bro. The only time that I ever seen him made NBA headlines is when he said outwardly that like he still drives the same car that he rode in college, which is either some van or some like Dodge Challenger or some shit like that. Very inspirational.
Naturally.
Save your money, kids. But we can roll into my next player. It's actually a role player. One of my favorite role players in the entire NBA. I love seeing guys come out of college as a specific, being viewed as one specific type of player and turn into like something else. Aaron Nesmith, oh my God. Coming out of college, he was a 2-year college player. His last year in college, he didn't really have much of an opportunity to play because he was fucking hurt. But since he's been in the NBA, was a part of the Boston Celtics, didn't really have that limelight, of course, because of the wings, Jaylen Brown and the Tatums of the world. No opportunity. But he's found a way to go ahead and fulfill his potential as a shooter alongside Tyrese Halliburton, shooting like 45% from 3-point line or something crazy like that. And his defense has been so inspirational. It's one of the things that's just the reason why the Pacers aren't last in that category. And so Aaron Nesmith, he deserves a fucking, I would have, if we were literally ranking this, I would put him at my number one list. At my number one spot for making him the most underrated player in the NBA. Great 3-and-D player.
I can see that. He's developed very nicely this year. Like, it's interesting they finally traded Buddy Hield, and I think a big part of that is because his emergence as like somebody who's going to be in the starting lineup for a long time. Mm-hmm. And you said you always like when somebody can come into the league as one player and transform into something else. I like it when they have a team gives up on them, and then the second team is like, oh, you're using this guy all the way the fucking wrong. Let's make him into this player, and he has a chance at the second team to really thrive. That's what happened here. He was drafted by the Celtics, traded for Malcolm Brogdon, and now he's the most valuable player in that trade, which I don't think anybody expected when it happened.
I agree, man. He's found his way, and the next stop for him when it comes to his development is like, can you do a little bit of things off the bounce? Because right now he's a fantastic cutter. When it comes to catching, just straight up going straight at the rim, he's great at that. Athletic as ever, and of course, like Woody Young has had on in college and also in high school, folks were making him out to be like the next Klay Thompson, which is absolutely disgusting. But he was that level of shooter when he was back in those 16, 17, 18-year-old days. But what he's doing now is fantastic to see, bro.
Love it.
Yeah.
Donovan, how many players do you have left? I have one left.
I have one left.
All right, who's your last player?
My last player is Amen Thompson.
Okay.
Rookie, okay.
Don't listen. Do not forget about Amen Thompson going into this offseason. Don't do it. I recently had the chance to see him live, to see him in person. Yo, this guy moves differently. Like, his athleticism, his burst, his ability to go side to side and get from point A to point B like that is crazy. And he can't shoot for anything, but he is around the ball all day long. Over the last 10 games, he's averaging a steal a game. He's averaging a block a game. He's great on defense. This team right now, like obviously Fred VanVleet is the starting point guard, but they drafted him in very, very high. He's going to be the guard of the future, so it's just going to be time. He has all the physical tools to be a good NBA point guard. Even if the shooting never comes around to be something fantastic, his defense, his motor, and his, again, just movement skills, I don't even know what to call it, is going to be
fluidity. Well, athleticism, I guess what we call it.
I guess so.
You're right.
But like all that combined is going to be the reason why he's going to be a very, very successful NBA point guard. So don't forget about Amen Thompson. He's fantastic, and he competes so hard on the defensive end.
He has to start over Jalen Green now. It's time. Jalen Green is not getting any better. I know every season he has 2 or 3 games where he drops 30 randomly, and it's like, oh, he's finally figuring it out. He's not. He's still just Jalen Green.
Yeah.
Amen Thompson needs to start long term next to Fred VanVleet as long as he's there. He's the guard of the future, like you said, and like the guard of the now. He's a more effective player. One of the strongest defenders in the league, like Asar, or he will be in the future. I shouldn't say it's an exaggeration, but like he's gonna be up there just like Asar is. The burst, the passing ability. You said like I don't know how to quantify the way he moves. I call it functional athleticism. The way he can like use that burst in like like concise ways. He isn't like a dribble between his legs, oh go kill him type of guy. But he's gonna blow by his guy every time with one strong cut every single time. Get to the rim.
Yeah.
It's like watching a powerful running back play. He just sees the hole and attacks it every time. He needs to be getting big minutes.
Yeah. and I know what to call
fucking Eric
it.
Dickerson.
And I know what to call it, y'all. He has him, his brother, and maybe like 3 other players in the NBA have the best quick twitch athleticism in the entire fucking world. It is ridiculous. Just how fast you see when it comes to start and finish, and his ability to make that movement happen all of a sudden is insane. The average person you see they're tearing their ACL.
Yeah.
They're tearing their meniscus,
Gets
bro.
the block, gets the rebound, immediately pushes, gets the ball.
Keep going back, Mikhail.
Gets the ball.
He chased down block Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Look at this. Let's break this down real quick. Chase down block and kill Alexander after Jabari blocks him. Gets his own rebound. Uses that speed. Immediately gets in front of everybody. Hits the cutter for the open shot. This is a quintessential Amen Thompson experience. He's going to be doing this every play when he's a full-time starter. Pushing the ball in transition like a prime Ben Simmons. Chase down blocking better than any guard you see in the league because he's 6'7", has a 7-foot wingspan, and jumps out the fucking gym. Fast as hell, can get back on anybody. IQ to push the ball, hit all the right passes. Like, he's going to be a star, and it's going to catch people by surprise that haven't been paying attention to him this year.
I, just like you, Donovan, was blessed enough to have experienced Amen Thompson playing basketball. I watched him a couple, maybe like last month, or actually this month in Atlanta, and there were so many plays where I'm like telling my siblings, this dude is fucking different. Watch how fast he takes off from the ground and just how he makes these decisions and how his body just immediately aligns and reacts to it as if like his body and his mind is one. Like his athleticism is just truly different, bro.
Yeah, he's a supercomputer.
I agree.
Cam Whitmore could also be up here. Cam Whitmore is going to be good. Shout out him.
Yeah, he could be starting as well over Jalen Green, but I guess anyone could in the NBA.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah, man. I got one player left. Real simple. We don't got to talk too much about it. Draymond Green. Got to put him on here still. People have, I think he's been taken for granted. You know, he's always been an underrated player, right? But, you know, for years, he was winning championships. He got the recognition he deserved. Over the last couple of years, I think people kind of talk about him like he's washed now and like he's just like there. You know, like when we're talking about Steph Curry and how this team is ass, it's like he has no help. Nobody really says his name anymore. And that's because for a couple of years, he had become like an offensive zero for some reason. He says it in the interviews. He talks about it. He said it was because he was so used to playing with that super team when KD was there that mentally he wasn't oriented to try and score anymore. And it was hard for him to bring that back into his game. He's better back in his game. He's shooting 44% from three right now. Granted on a small volume, 2.5 attempts per game. But he's shooting really well, passing the ball as well as ever. And this team went from being garbage, scrap heap, 13 seed, 12 seed all year to now being back into the play-in race because they went 11-2 over the last 13 games. And because of the fact that they started Draymond Green at center full-time, benched Kevon Looney, now they have spacing, and they're giving us a look that they've, thrived within the playoffs for years. Now it's their full-time look. And he has single-handedly made them a good team again, offensively and defensively. Like, he needs all the flowers in the world, despite the fucking boxing highlight tape he's put up this year.
And that's the key. Man. That's the key, the boxing highlight tape. Because he's not underrated just because he's underrated. He's underrated because everybody has been like, can you stop knocking people out? Because you're so good at basketball. Like, if you can just focus on that and not make somebody be unconscious for 2 seconds, then maybe we can get something going. And I'm very happy because also like his tone, even after like coming back, it's been different. Like on the court, you still get the same, wild Draymond, like his edge is still there. You still get all of that. But hearing him talk right now, like over the past, 10, 15 games, as opposed to what he sounded like after the pool punch or after the Sabonis stomp or after the Gobert chokeout, like it just sounds different. And it sounds like he is locked in right now, focused on making the Warriors like a championship contender again. We'll see, right, ultimately how far they get in the playoffs, but they have a chance now. Where if you asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said no. There's no way they're making a first round playoff series competitive. But that's not the case.
Don't get me wrong. He's a fucking maniac, and as a personality, he's not somebody I really want on my team. He recently went in on Grant Williams saying he's a fake tough guy. I don't know why he threw that shot at him. Whatever. He said some stupid shit about Miles Bridges in there because he's my brother for life, and he's being an idiot. Dumbass comments. He's a moron. Again, maniac, can't stop hitting people. There was that clip of him looking at Paul George and going like this for some reason, like he's gonna fucking ship him, like total maniac. But man, that motherfucker can play defense.
And that's like the story of Draymond Green, bro. Like off the court, you look at him, it's like, well, not off the court. On the court, when it comes to shenanigans, it's like, But on the court, he's fucking good, bro.
You were finding some crazy tweets of mine.
That is hilarious.
When did I tweet this?
And explain this to the audio listeners, Isaac.
2019.
Explain this, please.
It's a tweet of mine from 2019 that says, "I'm gonna tell my kids this was Draymond Green," and it's Hannibal Buress standing there awkwardly.
Wow, that is fucking
I don't know
hilarious.
why I tweeted this.
That's
so
fucking
cool what the
hilarious,
context
bro.
was hilarious.
That is fucking hilarious, bro. I love that. I agree with you guys completely on that.
That's my whole list. Mo, who do you have left?
So I got 3 players left. Okay. Trae Mann. I'm gonna speed run through this. The Orlando Magic should have traded for his ass. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Playing great. He's playing great, shooting 45% or 44% from 3-point line since he's been with the Charlotte Hornet. He's been unlocked, been unleashed now that he has opportunity and a team that's willing to cater towards him. OKC can't do that. Too many good things going on. He's in Charlotte doing great things. Cool. After that, got Malik Monk. Great player. Spark plug. And he's developed his playmaking ability. Love to see that. Last one, Mike Conley. Mike Conley is Mike Conley. He's steady, ready. He's 36 years old. And it seems like he could play forever, bro.
Facts.
Nice.
All right, good.
Shout out to Speedrun. Y'all, there it is. Each of us give 10 players we think are the most underrated in the league in a loose order. That was probably like 26 players deep. It's a long episode giving flowers. Take it while you can because negativity will soon come. So embrace the positivity while it's here.
Man, this sucks. But I guess now this means that it is the first ever TikTok time that I am out of the goddamn hood. You guys, believe it or not,
I forgot we didn't tell him.
we fucking did it. Not me, not you, but all of you crown eaters out there. We are talking to you right now. We're out of the Bronx. We're currently in Washington, D.C. I got this whole new studio, new setup, same old ball. I got the cranium is crazy behind me. If you fucking know, you fucking know. Life is different now, man. But now that I'm here, that doesn't mean that the Get Mo Out of the Hood Foundation just stops. No, bro. We're changing the LLC name. Keep Mo out of the hood. That's what this bitch is called now. And
I'm not going back.
Back into your old
I'm
lifestyle.
not going back.
Facts, exactly. So this is the first ever goddamn TikTok time. Let's run this shit up, eaters. And where you at? Hell yeah. Crown eaters, welcome to fucking TikTok time.
What the? Where did this man? I don't.
Listen,
For Joe's watching, he just pulled up with a cat, didn't tell us anything. Where did this cat just come from?
this right here is my rat repellent. Fuck is you talking
Oh my
about, man?
God.
I moved
Oh
to
my
Washington,
goodness.
D.C. I'm coming fucking different. And plus, she's cute too. Her name is Mia, right?
Nice.
Mia?
Shout out Mia. I had no idea this was happening. This shocked me as much as it did y'all.
I think she's a little camera side, so she wants to leave. But
Oh,
we're
there she goes.
fucking ready right
She
now.
did. She did.
Let me open the door for
scared
her
her?
real quick. Yeah, she's
Crazy.
camera
She's
side.
not. She saw a rat to go take. You fucking brought him with you.
She's going on attack.
You attracting them with you state to state, nationwide rats. As always, we're gonna start with the draft. This time, we're gonna draft NBA lineups with only players who played for a New York team. So they had to have played for the Knicks or the Nets, obviously.
Yes,
Knicks
sir.
or Nets.
Yes, sir. Draft
you
order.
guys know how it goes by now. I don't gotta explain anything. Draft order is Mo, Donovan, me. Real simple. Let's draft NBA lineups with only players who played for a New York team. Where are we going first, Mo?
First overall pick. Give me the Slim Reaper himself, Kevin Durant. I need it.
Okay.
I need it.
Okay. Knew
Predictable.
that. Knew that.
Yawn.
Give
Yawn.
me.
Sounds like jealousy.
It's not.
A little bit.
It's not y'all. It's predictable. While I was mapping this out, I knew where you were gonna go. But for my first pick, give me Kevin Garnett.
Fuck. I was really hoping you'd pick somebody else.
Ooh,
And I knew.
nice.
I knew. I mapped this out. No, come on.
Damn.
love
If you
that
would've-
shit.
I'm not gonna lie. If you didn't pick KG, I think I would have won instantly with who I could have paired him with.
Damn.
Okay.
Because I know.
Damn.
I know where you're going.
Well, yeah. No, obviously, I have to go this way now.
Yeah.
Give me James Harden and Patrick Ewing.
Yep.
Give me that pick and roll combination.
Okay. It's a thick pick and roll combination. I love that. Ain't nobody talking that shit. Damn.
That's
Okay.
crazy. Yeah.
It's going to be a crazy
listen,
duo name.
Harden,
I like
Harden
it.
at the 1, Ewing at the 5. That's good.
Starting
All
with
right.
size.
Yeah, that's fine. At my 2, give me Tracy McGrady.
Okay, good pick.
Okay. Nice. I love that. So you got Harden at the 1, Ewing at the 2, KG. Nice. I love that shit. All right. So at my 1, go ahead and give me Kyrie Irving. Am I just rebuilding the Brooklyn Nets? Maybe.
You're building the biggest disaster in NBA history? Let's get it.
Listen, it's for one game. I got it, bro. Go ahead and give me Kyrie Irving. And then at my 4, give me Julius Irving. Ooh, the aura on my team is different.
You can't have him because he played for the New Jersey Nets, not the Brooklyn Nets.
Wait, it was in New York, though.
New Jersey is not in New York.
Oh, my God. No.
Bozo alert.
He's a part of team history, though.
You don't know your geography.
Oh, my God. That sucks ass.
Okay. I thought we were counting it.
It should count,
They
genuinely.
had to play in New York.
It's
York.
a part of the team history,
but
though.
you said New York team. And so the team has history elsewhere.
But they were not a New York team.
Okay. Straw man's argument.
Did they play in New York?
It's still the same franchise.
Did they play in New York? Did he play in New York?
That's not
I said New York team for simplicity, so people understand it. I intro this to you as players who played in New York.
I asked you players who have played for the Knicks or the Nets earlier, and you said yes. And so we're talking about the franchise.
It is players who played in New York.
There we go. Nikhil's on our team right now.
Interesting.
ABA.
That's ABA,
Now,
so I don't know
Isaac
how to
could
deal
be
with
a
that.
bastard and be like ABA.
We'll give it to you.
But
We'll
I'm
give it
still
to you.
taking
ABA,
it. Trying to
whatever,
rob me.
we'll give it to
Here we go. On Black History Month 2. Let me have my last day. God damn it.
All right, we'll give it to you because it was ABA. That's a technicality.
go.
You can have it.
There we go.
This whole draft is a technicality.
I knew somebody wasn't going to pay attention to that, but yeah.
There we go.
I guess I introed it to them, to the Crayon Eaters wrong. I said New York teams. To you guys, I said players who played in New York. So that was the thing.
Crown Eaters, I will never lead you astray. Never, ever. I got your back.
It's fine.
Julius Irvin and KD is interesting.
It is. Now, what would a New York team for me be without 3 to the dome? Give me Carmelo Anthony at the 3.
Ooh, okay.
Straight
T-Mac
buckets.
and Melo. That's an interesting combination.
Straight buckets.
Straight buckets. KG's going to be defending everybody.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah. If you're going to have those two, KG's the person to pair them with. After that, where do I want to go? You guys already have that, so I don't need that. I have a 1. You know what? Am I 2? Give me Bernard King.
Good pick.
Give me a New York legend.
Good pick.
Okay. That's very solid. I like that. Not bad at all.
Then am I 3? Give me Paul Pierce.
Also a good pick. Also a good pick.
I like that. Paul Pierce is solid. You got a real balanced lineup. Real thick as fuck too, but balanced.
You keep going back to the thickness.
I'm sorry, it's true. It seems like you came on this bitch with an agenda to be made, but okay.
I'm drafting for girth.
Yeah.
Where are we going, Donovan?
You know what?
ABA merchant.
You know, with this team, look, this team probably wouldn't win in Madison Square Garden, but we're going to win at Rucker Park. Give me Penny Hardaway at my point guard.
Nice technicality pick. He played there for 5 seconds.
Okay.
He played there.
I like it.
Nice. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so to round this bitch out, I need a little bit of more defense and a little bit more facilitating. So at my 2 guard, I'm going to go ahead and put Jason Kidd there. And then at my 5, I need defense because I might get brutalized in the paint. So give me someone sturdier than ever. Give me Tyson Chandler.
You're good. That's a
Tyson
great
Chandler.
pick. That's a great
Sleeper
pick. Because that's what I wanted. But now I'm trying to decide if I want to move KG to the 5 or if I want to get an actual 5. And I think with Tyson and Patrick, I have to go get an actual 5. So give me, we're gonna do this. Actually, no, forget this. Put KG at the 5.
Right there.
No, I'm not doing that. Put KG at the 5. At the 4, give me Amari Stoudemire.
Whoa! Damn.
Interesting. You murdered your spacing, but
I told you we're playing at Rucker Park. We're not trying to play.
True. You're in New York.
We're not playing organized basketball here. We're just trying to.
You went 2 bigs with no spacing. Give me 2 bigs with spacing. Give me Kristaps Porzingis at the 4. Got twin towers with spacing.
Okay.
Tingus Pingus in my lineup.
Tingus Pingus is lethal, bro. Not gonna lie. I'm surprised you didn't pick Vince Carter, Donovan. I thought you were gonna go that way.
Vince Carter played for New Jersey only.
Oh my God, here we go again. We're not doing this anymore.
That's what I'm saying. I wasn't trying to get into it again.
That was the reason I brought that, because I knew someone was in pick Vince Carter, so that'd be funny.
That is absolutely hilarious.
I messed up by saying New York teams in the intro to this. Damn it. Now I'm
now you stuck to it. Damn it.
Players who played in New York. God damn it. What a wasted bit. I knew someone was in pick Vince Carter.
That is hilarious, bro.
You see what I'm saying? He set this up purely for the bit. Purely, not so that we can have a successful draft. It was for the bit.
I knew somebody would not be paying attention to the prompt.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, Isaac, it's for the content. And I'm forward with it too.
So my team, James Harden, Bernard King, Paul Pierce, Tingus Pingus, Patrick Ewing.
Nice.
All right, my team, Penny Hardaway, Tracy McGrady, Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire, Kevin Garnett. We're not losing a game.
I got Kyrie Irving, Jason Kidd, KD, Julius Irving, and Tyson Chandler. Crown Eaters, who won? And tell me why it was me.
It's either me or you. I think you have a great team. I mean, I would put you have Kidd at the 2. I would call him the point guard. Kyrie the 2.
Yeah, for sure.
So people understand a little more.
Yeah, for sure.
I like your team. Your team makes a lot of sense. Very modern. I think Donovan sold a little bit picking Amari Stoudemire. I don't know.
What did I tell you?
I don't see the fit there.
What did I tell you? We're not trying to play some like 5-on-5
It's at the Rucker.
organized basketball. That's not what we're doing, right? Put me in 2K, put me in Rucker Park. We're not losing a game. It's just not happening. We're about buckets, and that's what my team is.
That's hilarious, bro.
Ewing and Pingus, that's some length.
You came in this bitch with a prerogative. I told you.
Length and girth. That wasn't on purpose. My bad.
It was. Liar.
that one wasn't on purpose.
And it comes to doing what you want to do, you won this draft.
Oh my God. I wanted. All right. Anyways, I guess we'll move on to the next thing we have in mind.
Yeah.
You know, the Clippers recently rebranded. We talked about it on the live stream. If you want to hear our full thoughts breaking down this, you can go watch it there. We talked about it for like 15 minutes. We got really in depth on this rebrand. But in the spirit of that, I think we talk about some other NBA rebrands over the years, and we're going to grade them. So it should be interesting. There's some good ones, some terrible ones, some in between. Obviously, the Clippers are going to be one of them.
Come on.
Let's do
real
it.
Simple.
Bring
I
it
want you
on.
to grade this NBA rebrand. First off, the Los Angeles Clippers.
Listen, I gave this an A on the stream. This is an A for me.
It remains an A. Wow.
They went from having the worst logo in the league to now having some type of direction with the compass. Just a smidgen of aura.
Literally
Good
a direction
job.
with the compass. That's what you do there, bars.
That's hilarious.
You know me.
I think the jersey is a big upgrade. Going back to the cursive font is smart. The jerseys before were horrible. The logo is better, but it's still kind of mid. There's too much going on.
Yeah, nah. When it comes to the logo, it's really ass, for being honest with you. I said on the stream, it looks like U.S. currency. I said it looks like a dime.
This shit is trash.
Yeah, nah. Like, it looks like currency. It looks like a dime. It looks like I could show you a quarter that I got from Mexico, bro. It looks like a fucking peso. Like, it's ridiculous. But the jerseys are hard. Exactly, bro.
People don't know what they want. If the Clippers came out here with another minimal logo, everybody would have been like, "Oh, it's so boring." They went out. They tried
it's
to
low key minimal. It's just blue and white.
They tried to do
muddy.
something. You don't have to put the rainbow in the logo for it not to be minimal. They have their color scheme. They stuck to it. They put a couple things in it. They tried, and we should give them credit for that.
Great, you did a little bit better than the worst brand in the league. I'll give you a B-.
I just see this logo,
you guys are
and
hypocrites.
I think USPA polo vibes. It's just like, you want to be it,
That's fact.
but you really can't be it. But you're trying really hard, and I'll let you pass.
It's supposed to be a battleship or something. Looks like a cruise liner. Everyone on a Disney cruise.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
I'm gonna be in brunch with Goofy.
This is like cruise line on God, bro. Caribbean? Oh my goodness.
Steve Ballmer and Mickey are gonna be dapping up on the fucking singing karaoke.
That's great, bro.
It's mid.
So-
It's better though. So B-.
B-. I'll meet you guys in the middle. B+.
Okay, there you go. Next up, who we got? The Brooklyn Nets in 2012.
See,
This shit got worse.
This is tough because when the rebrand first happened, I was like, okay, nah, like the black and white, it looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, nah, it's boring. This sucks now.
For the time, it was good. They needed it. That old one had really worn away. It was really overstayed its welcome. I think it was an A for the time, but now we need another one. They need a new refresh now. It's been too long. So I'll give it an A for the time.
That's a good way to look at it. But in terms of just like pitting what a real A should be, which is being timeless, I want to give this like a C.
Oh, it's not that. It's not that at all. That shit needs to go.
Yeah, exactly. I want to go ahead and give this a C.
I would go with the C as well. It's mid now.
You're right.
I said on the
C in hindsight for sure.
Yeah, I said on the stream too. This shit looks like a police badge or some shit like that. It just doesn't. It looks like so federal. You can't fuck with it.
Yeah, it does. Okay, next one. The Atlanta Hawks.
Now the logo.
Mixed feelings.
The logo is kind of cool. I don't.
It's good.
I like
Going
the
back
logo.
to the old logo was smart.
The jerseys.
Ooh, are those trash?
Mo, these are some of the worst jerseys I've ever laid my eyes on. These things hurt my eyes. My prescription got worse after seeing these. There's too much going on. It's awful.
This looks like these fucking Friday Night Tykes jerseys. You seen those jerseys the Little League football teams be wearing? They're all bright. This looks like Julian Newman's jersey from that famous clip of him going crazy between the legs. This is terrible. They did a rebrand and dropped the jerseys like 2 years later because they were so ass. That should tell you something.
I'm not gonna lie. I think they're good, but I'm obligated to say that because I have one. I have one. What you want me to say? A piece of equipment that I have is trash? It's not about whether I believe it or not. I got it.
Those diamonds are awful.
Fuck that. I'm true to Atlanta. It's nice.
This is terrible.
But yeah,
I'll go D because the jerseys are terrible.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going D as well.
I would say C because the logo carries heavy. The logo's not.
The logo is the only reason it's not an F.
Yeah. Sad days in Atlanta, but it's okay.
All right, next up, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves.
This sucked. Wow. This sucked.
What?
I just want to say so because we have Shabazz Napier here, bro. Why is Shabazz Napier here?
I like these a lot.
I hate
them. Shabazz Napier. Oh my gosh. Shabazz
I was going to say a
Muhammad.
solid B. I think the jerseys on the left are trash. Obviously, the logo is cool. It has character. Those jerseys from the Kevin Love era are garbage. Those are awful.
What?
I don't like these. I think that these jerseys are on the same level. I don't think they upgraded in any way. I think they just swapped mid for mid. But the logo, the old logo is
mid.
Exactly. The old logo is definitely better.
Yeah.
So where are we going? Are we going D?
I think D might. I think C because it's definitely not one of the worst logos or jerseys in the NBA for sure.
I thought it was solid. Damn, I'm in the minority.
We'll go C.
Solid is C. Solid is C.
I thought it was good. I thought it was a B. I like it. I like these jerseys.
It could be a lot better. Let's just say that. Could be a lot better.
All right.
You have a fucking wolf, bro. The most ferocious animal. You go ahead and just put some lines behind that bitch. It's not good enough.
The Cleveland Cavaliers in 2022.
This was much needed. And I think that they did a very good job because, listen, those old Cleveland jerseys, they had the little Goodyear sponsorship. I cannot see these jerseys without thinking about tires. I can't do it. My brain just goes there. The new Cavs jerseys actually look like basketball jerseys. I love the V and the basketball net and everything. That's nice. That's good work.
The logo barely changed. I don't know why they felt the need to do that. But the jerseys are 10 times better. The old ones are like everything wrong with 2010's jersey. They're just angular as fuck and look like they're made in like a Madden simulator. But the new ones is like the exact right way to do minimalism.
Facts, bro. Looks like the old ones, the old jerseys, I feel like if you roll up in this bitch, you got a Transformer Decepticon from like 1950 or some shit like that, bro, waiting to go ahead and crash out. Like it's just so angular, boxy, devious. But the new one is hard as hell. I fuck with it heavy. And the new jersey too with the net in between the V. W.
Yeah. However, they do lose points for taking away the sword in the logo. The sword was cool. It gave it a little bit more character.
Yeah, the logo's really plain now.
That is true.
It's kind of dull.
So
really
is this a B?
Yeah, let's go B. The logo weighs it down. I think the logo was a bad change.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Tough. Jerseys are hard though. Next up, the Milwaukee Bucks.
This is a whole A+ to me. The logo is a lot better for sure. And the jerseys came a little bit away.
No, this logo, new one's hard. The jerseys are a million times better. I think the jerseys on the left are garbage. I hated those. They needed this rebrand so bad.
You hate every jersey from the 2010s. You do not like them at all.
Well, this one's that's like a late 2000s jersey. But yeah, it's a bad era of jerseys.
Ah, man. Who is that to the left? Is that Larry Sanders? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I'm so disgusting for remembering it off the top of the head. I hope
Shout
he's
out
doing
Larry
okay,
Sanders.
man.
Shout out Larry Sanders. I do wish there was... I kind of missed the red in the Bucks design back then, but I like how they replaced it with some blue. There's a lot of cool blue hints in the new jerseys.
That is what takes it to a next level, bro. The green and red, I just don't know why, but those colors just don't mesh or gel unless it's fucking Christmas. Like, why? They're trying so hard to get that shit off, but it never went off.
Yeah.
Maybe
You
they
said-
The cream on the new one is tough.
What do you mean? You said they don't mesh until it's time for them to be the greatest color pairing of all time during Christmas. It always works. Green and red always works. It worked back then. They should have brought it over here now.
Disagree. It's if it's not in December, then then it's trash in my opinion.
Yeah. I'm gonna still give this one an A though. I think the cream is good. I think the logo is better. This is a good refresh.
Yeah. I want to give this an A.
I'll go B minus.
Hater. All right, next up. The Washington Wizards.
What is the difference?
They kept the
what
same
changed?
fucking jerseys and took away the wizard out of the logo and made their logo just like a ball and a star. Nothing to
is
do
why
with
they-
Wizards.
This is why they suck. And this is the perfect encapsulation of what the Washington Wizards are. They think that they do something and they just stay the same. Just mid.
Not even to say the same. They got demonstrably worse. This is a nothing of a logo with no personality. What is it? What has to do with Wizards in this? It looks like their team logo was like the Capitals.
I mean,
They
the only
did
thing that I
John
could-
Wall so dirty.
Bruh, yeah, this is disgusting. This is easily an F, bro. I hate their jerseys. I've always hated their jerseys overall. And to see that they take a step back from the logos, this has no personality, no character. You don't tell me about the history. I mean, I guess I see the infrastructure with the star on it. I guess that's like cool, but
No, it's
overall,
not. It's just a
ass.
star.
No, there's a building. There's a building on top of under that
Yeah,
star.
it's the Washington Monument, which has nothing to do with the name Wizards.
But I guess it has something to do with Washington. So I guess this is like
Exactly.
I see the vision.
Great. Fantastic.
I'm fighting for my life for him right here, man. Washington, I will never defend you again.
F. Listen, the logo on the left isn't even that good. The one on the right is just stupid.
At least
Mo,
the logo on the
you
left
are a
made me
local
feel
now.
proud.
You need to fend for your people.
Hey, fuck that. The crime rate here is insane, bro. I thought I was out the hood. I might be back in
my
this
God.
bitch. No, I'm good. I'm not defending shit.
F tier. This is the worst rebound in a long time. It's just,
I agree.
just got worse with no added benefits.
Ass. This is F.
That's the last one. Next thing we're going to do. Mo, I believe you have some celebrity lookalikes for us.
Ah, yes. So we did this a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago or so. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is bring up about like 6 or so pictures of celebrities who looked exactly like NBA players. So gonna go ahead and hit this hook. Guess the NBA player by their celebrity lookalike. And I want you guys to guess the name in your head.
Okay. This should be fun. Last time it was pretty easy. Let's see if you came harder.
Yeah,
Awesome.
okay. Let's go ahead and see. So, first up, we got... Okay. And I guess we started off like this. Nice, producer Nikhil. This is what celebrity looks like based off of, bro. Just getting the gist
Twins.
of it. Holy fuck, you're never beating these allegations ever in your life, Donovan. I'm sorry. Nikhil,
crazy.
he was the mastermind behind this. It wasn't part of the plan, bro.
You're lucky he didn't put Norm Powell while he was at it.
That's crazy, bro. The meme will never die.
I just try to show up and be a good teammate, and I don't think that I deserve this.
You just kind
I
of
just try to
reckless
show
stray.
up. I try to do my job. I try to
This is a
contribute.
good picture too. Where'd you get this from, Nikhil? He must have been in the trenches because this is not in your gram, I think, either. Good God.
No,
That's hilarious.
this is from the media shoot.
Ah, got you.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was the first one.
Let's get serious. Guess the NBA player by their celebrity lookalikes. Duke Dennis. Who is this player,
What
bruh?
the hell?
Yeah, man.
I didn't know he had a celebrity. I didn't know he was a lookalike of a player.
He has a lookalike, and when I show you, your jaw's gonna drop to the motherfucking ground.
Ooh, who does Duke look like? Is it somebody that's as glazed as he is?
No, not nearly.
Okay.
Okay, is
Not
it because
nearly.
of? Okay, just give me a hint. Is it because of the dreads or because of the grill?
Neither. It's facial structure.
Facial structure.
structure.
Is it a young player?
Yes, and to take it further,
Okay.
he's in the West.
Young player in the West. I mean, it's not John Morant, is it?
No, okay, that no.
Okay, I didn't think so.
No.
Who was? I was gonna say Grant Williams for a second because the eyes.
No, that's hilarious. But keep on thinking about the eyes, and hopefully you'll get to that point. Duke Dennis
does
has
Duke
like
look
little to no eyebrows, bro, but he has a very strong, like super strong facial features.
Little to no eyebrows.
That's true. Look at him, bro. I'm being honest.
I don't know where to go with this.
That's crazy.
Does he play in California?
No, he doesn't play in California.
Texas?
No, not in Texas.
Okay. I don't know where to go with this. I've never seen
One of the
him
most
having a
poppin'
lookalike.
teams in the NBA this season.
Okay, he's on the Thunder.
Yes! Aura's carrying heavy, but it's not Shea, of course.
He looks like a Thunder player. Okay, is this Jang?
Huh?
Is this Jang?
Jang. Who's Jang?
Uzman?
No, not Uz. No.
There's no way you're talking about Lou Dort.
No, not Lou Dort. Oh my God,
That'd
you
be
guys.
hilarious.
No, not Lou Dort. Oh my goodness. Y'all are so
Man,
close.
I was gonna, no, keep going. I'm gonna figure this out. It's not. Wait, is it Big Jalen Williams?
Yes, it's big Jalen Williams. They're fucking twins. What the hell?
You just pick
Okay.
somebody who squints a lot. And it looks
Nah, bro.
you pick Duke Dennis? That's crazy allegations. That's
Nah,
crazy.
bro. They don't. On God, they don't even squint a lot. That's just how they are, bro. Look at it. Look at every
Duke is
single
always-
picture.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
They're
Okay.
twins,
That's
I
very
never
funny.
would have once thought that this looks like Duke Dennis.
bro. The allegations are
insane.
out there on the internet. They're out there.
Wow.
That is hilarious,
Oh my
bro.
God, the Duke glaze never ends. They're saying we're NBA players now.
So who's next? That's hilarious, bro. Ooh, we got Desmond from RDC.
This is Rodney motherfucking Hood. I see it immediately. I can immediately tell.
Bro, he even has the same facial hair as him. It's ridiculous. He's not even trying to.
Yeah, this is so accurate. I haven't thought of Rodney Hood's name in like 5 years, and immediately he came to mind.
Bro, oh to
is
God. I
crazy.
thought Rodney Hood was going to be the next NBA star. Little did you know, I was wrong. Not NBA star, but internet star. Damn.
Skit star.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Love
hilarious,
it.
bro. Who's next? Next up, we got Jack Harlow. Helping you
This
guys
could be a
know
lot of
this.
guys. I'm not gonna lie.
This is okay. I'm gonna guess that this is oh boy in San Francisco, Brandon Pajemski.
Oh,
Probably,
you in
but also
your-
it's also Kyle Guy.
Oh, you guys are in your bag. It's actually Pods, man. But Kyle Guy could be a very good answer.
I think he looks more like Kyle Guy than Pajemski. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but Pajemski's on the Warriors. I gotta get that Warriors push. Who the hell's talking
I gotta
about
put
Kyle
hashtag
Guy?
Warriors in the video.
Exactly. You know me.
That's hilarious. No, there's like 7 Jack Harlows walking around every city in the country right now. You can pick him out of a fucking club.
Yep. Black ass skinny jeans and a white tee with some white forces. I saw this dude yesterday, bro.
All over DC.
Oh God, bro. Who's next?
That's hilarious.
Who? Next up, we got Slim in this bitch. Who
There's
is
no
this
reason.
player?
There is no reason to do Jalen Williams J-Dub like this. There's no
Does he,
reason.
love how you
does
do
he
immediately.
not look like Ronald Slim Williams? Am I wrong?
Come on.
Yeah, if you age him up 40 years and give him a pack of smokes a day, then yeah, it looks like him. This is so mean.
It's accurate. There's nothing wrong with that. This is just showing, letting him know what his future might entail. I'm a good person.
You better stay on the NBA nutrition plan.
That's hilarious,
hilarious.
bro. Who's next? Ooh, next up, we got the man on a penny, Abraham Lincoln.
Why
Who is
does
a celebrity
everybody?
lookalike?
Why does everybody on the Oklahoma City Thunder have a lookalike? Everybody, just one
We're
by
running it up
one,
on the Thunder.
just one by one. This is Chet
This is the
Holmgren.
best light skinned player in the NBA, Chet motherfucking Holmgren.
Woo! You are correct. Look at them ears and look at that no mustache above the lips. Disgusting combo, but he rocks
Bieber
that
no
shit.
mustache is crazy. That's
It
crazy.
is wild. It is wild.
It is by choice too. I see the stubble. He shaved that mustache off.
Yeah, I know. I think as of late,
Can't
he's been
trust a
rocking
man
that
like
bitch
that.
because he can't beat the allegations. It's hitting too hard. But he was definitely in that lineage. Abe was how tall? He was tall as fuck, right? Like 6'5"?
Yeah, he's like 6'4", 6'5".
Damn.
That's his great grandfather.
No mustache, just beard, looking mad Amish. That's crazy.
We know your lineage.
Yeah, that's
you
his
were destined
great-grandpa.
to be the one. Who's next? Ooh. Next up, we got Booger.
That Booger
Hall of
McFarland.
Fame football player. Who
Can I
is this
tell you
man?
something? Can I tell you something? You're
What?
being mean. You're being mean.
I'm telling the truth.
You're being mean to these people. Come on now.
Who is this player? This picture is so awkward. It looks like one of them, like, it looks literally like a meme. Looks fake as hell.
It looks like,
It's
a
a stock
face
photo.
swap. It looks so much like Zion Williamson. in the face.
Unnatural as hell. You got it, John Williamson. You are correct.
They got the same smile. It's crazy.
Yeah, no. If you were to tell me this is Zion Williamson's dad, I would 110% believe in you. Oh, that is, whoa, what is this? That is crazy.
What is this?
Producing the
Why is
kill.
there Drake on this photo?
You were up
What
to
is
no
this?
good.
It's because somebody said you were Temu Drake. That's hilarious.
At the stream, that is hilarious. Mondays, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Crown Eaters be there.
That's so funny.
And I believe
The
that
last
might
one?
be it. Or is there one more? Nope.
Yeah, we're done
that
for
is
I love how
it.
Nikhil inserted a fucking ad break into the thing.
Yeah, that is fucking hilarious. We need the promo.
That's hilarious. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna do something we started a couple weeks ago, where me and Donovan are gonna guess a top 10 of something that Mo is gonna have for us.
Here
This time
we
we're gonna
go
guess
again.
the top 10 points per game leaders from 2016.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Here we go. Y'all,
Don.
2016 was a while ago, and I hope y'all have some good memory. All right, Donovan, I
How
know
well
you're
do you
in your
remember the
health
11th
wave.
grade, Donovan?
Yeah,
Listen,
facts.
11th grade was fun.
11th grade?
That
Fuck
was the
was the
time.
11th grade.
was the
Holy
time.
shit, we're cooked.
Oh,
God
and we
damn.
get the numbers? Oh, we're eating.
Oh, you shouldn't have put the numbers on there, but yeah.
we're
It's
eating.
okay. Let's see what you guys think. Can you name the top 10 scores from the oh shit, I fucked that up. Can you name the top 10 scores in 2016?
All right. Number one, we'll go with the MVP of the league. Give us Steph Curry.
Easy.
That is too easy.
I can only assume that LeBron James is up here.
You are correct.
Fifth.
Who would've thought?
Okay.
I can also only assume that the second in MVP, James Harden, is up here.
Oh my goodness. You are correct. He's number 2.
Who
Can
would have
you
thought?
can you give us perennial top scorer Kevin Durant?
Wow. Shocker. KD is number 3.
After that, was Carmelo Anthony still on the Knicks going crazy in 2016? He was, right?
Donovan, that question's for you.
16. Yes. Yes.
That was one of his last effective years. Carmelo Anthony's on his list, right?
You are incorrect.
Oh,
Wow.
He is not on this
that sucks.
list.
But somebody who should be on this list should be Russell Westbrook.
correct.
You are correct. Russell Westbrook was coming in at number 8.
There we go.
Easy ones. So we're getting the easy ones out the way. After that, Damian Lillard, he'd already ascended at this point, right?
Okay, yeah. 2016 was
There
his
we
year.
go, number
Look at
6,
you.
okay.
In your fucking bag. Let's go.
Blake Griffin.
Ooh, good pick.
Ooh, Blake Griffin.
No,
sorry
no.
to say, but he is not top 10.
Really?
Okay. Ooh, no. Is LaMarcus Aldridge on this list?
Ooh, sad to say, but LaMarcus is not top 10.
Is Kawhi on this list?
Damn, sorry to say, but he is not top 10.
DeMar
Damn.
DeRozan.
Damn, sorry to say, but he is number 9. There we go.
Let's go.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Needed that.
West teams, East teams.
Who's 4 in
Kyrie Irving on this list?
Sorry to say, but he is not on this list.
Okay, I don't think he played enough games this year, actually.
All right, 2016. I'm trying to think about who's dominating.
Got
You have
3
the
spots left. 4, 7, and 10.
Warriors, Cavs.
Yes, 4, 7,
Yeah,
and
just
10.
running through the contenders.
Paul
Who'll be on the
George?
Spurs.
You are correct. PG-13.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Almost forgot about him.
Okay, we didn't have
Big.
Now you got
Is
number
DeMarcus
6.
Cousin at 7?
Ooh, DeMarcus Cousins was at 4 actually,
Anthony
bro.
Davis.
Yes.
Oh, 2-1. You got it, Anthony Davis. Congratulations. You are the winner. Congratulations, guys. You guys did it again. Immaculate job. Your memory is top tier. Top
Anything's
tier.
possible.
DeMarcus Cousins being a number 4 is insane, bro. When I saw that, I was like, good God. I forget this man was uber talented.
Can you believe this was fucking 8 years ago?
Wow. And now this man is on podcasts criticizing Trae Young and telling him that he should leave the Hawks. God damn, bro. That's crazy.
He knows ball.
Get out of here.
Last thing we're going to do before we get out of here. I'm going to name some NBA teams, and you guys are going to name their most underrated player in franchise history.
Okay.
So listen, we've done a lot of episodes where we named the greatest players in franchise's history. We've named the most talented. Now we're going to do the most underrated. Real simple. First off, the Phoenix Suns.
Underrated players in NBA history. Should I say the man who shot funny, Sean Marion? He deserves to be on that
He's up
talking
there.
point for sure. He helped change the NBA easily.
If he played today,
with his
he would have
archetype.
made like fucking $40 million a year. He would have been so valuable.
Oh my God, he'd be making Jaylen Brown money, bro. It would have been ridiculous. So I would definitely put Sean Marion on that list.
I like that pick. I'm going to go with Sean Marion. I like that. I'm the first
agree.
one. I like that.
He helped change the game, bro. His archetype was not one of the best, but when it comes to what he did and how effective he was, bro, he helped change the league.
No, you're right. Listen, his archetype was amazing. His shooting form was horrendous. That's what was bad. But he was a great player.
That's a good pull from like right away. He immediately switched that bitch from half court.
Yeah. Sean Marion.
Okay.
Max Strus.
Next up, the 76ers.
Ooh, man. One of my favorite players in the NBA to watch was TJ McConnell, but that is a disgusting
God.
choice. I know.
What are you talking about?
I know. Could it be Donovan's Pepe Sanchez? My shoe in that?
Oh my God.
You're playing around. It's probably what are we gonna go like Andre Iguodala maybe because he was
I was
nice.
gonna say Andre Iguodala.
He was
that might be
nice.
that
He
one.
was nice
It
when
was
he
that
was
one.
on the Sixers.
100%.
A lot of
I think
people
Andre
don't remember
Iguodala
those
was one of the most
days.
underrated defensive players of all time. And at that point, he was young. He could really drive. Shooting wasn't quite there yet, but he was one of the better defenders in the league.
A problem.
I 110% agree. He is one of the best players in history to not make, or he probably won't make the Hall of Fame at all.
Oh no, he's
But
making the
one
Hall
of
of
the best
Fame.
to do that.
Easy.
Really?
He's easily making the Hall of
Easy?
Fame.
He only has
Easily.
one All-Star. There's not many one-time All-Stars in the Hall of Fame.
Is
He
the
has-
Finals MVP
again,
is
it's
carrying
the-
you like that?
It's the Basketball Hall of Fame. He was on the greatest teams of all time. He has international experience, I think. I'm sure.
True.
He was on the most
You're right.
disappointing international team of all time.
He's there though. he was there though. He'll make it.
I
don't know
love
if he will,
Iguodala, but
actually.
him
Like, that's
making
gonna
the
be
Hall
tough
of Fame, what
everybody
happened to the
makes
game that I love?
Just give him time.
Shit, can I make the Hall of Fame?
Am I a legend? All right, next up, the Los Angeles Lakers.
I feel like there's so many good picks here with this one.
Underrated.
I think carefully. A lot of great players over the years.
All they have is
I would say-
stars.
Nah, but a couple tiers below star, Lamar Odom was fantastic. And he's another one of those players who would eat in the NBA today.
Okay.
Lamar Odom's a good pick. Do you think the average fan knows how good James Worthy was?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
I mean,
not.
James Worthy.
Come on.
He's a Hall of Famer though, but so it can't really be him.
Is James Worthy?
Who else's name deserves to be up there in that conversation?
Is it weird? And actually, listen, you're right though. Like James Worthy is in the Hall of Fame, and so I won't use that excuse to say why he's not the most underrated. But honestly, like Dwight Howard, because even though, and the only reason why I'm saying is because Dwight was still putting up like 19 and 10 with a messed up back his years in LA. Like he was still productive whenever he was
It's
there.
true.
Kobe just got everybody to hate him, but he was a solid player.
I hurt my back one time and I couldn't get off the bed. So 19 to 10 is really impressive.
Yeah, honestly, let's go James Worthy. I think obviously he's a Hall of Famer, but I think many average fans these days have forgotten about him over time. He gets no PR with young fans whatsoever.
Boo. My vote is Lamar Odom. I think he was that guy.
I don't know nothing about Derek Fisher.
That's hilarious, bro. Trifling.
Next up, the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Whew. Y'all see that shot that Max Strus hit the other night? He might be in Cavs history.
That was crazy.
Listen, he has nothing.
Yeah.
Max Strus has nothing on Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
I was about to say that, bro. On God, I was going to say
Big
that.
Z. It's Big Z.
Zydrunas
Big Z.
Ilgauskas, yeah.
It's probably Larry Nance. I think most people don't think about Larry Nance as one of the better players in franchise history, but he definitely is.
Well, actually, no.
Yeah,
Larry Nance might get the credit. It might be Mark Price.
Oh yeah. People quickly go to Kyrie Irving as the best guard in Cavs history.
Yeah.
But Mark Price is definitely up there.
That's the
Price
one.
is nasty.
You guys hit it on the head. That's the one for sure. Mark Price, you are the most underrated player in Cavs history.
Yeah. All right, next up, the Chicago Bulls.
I love this. I want to say Joakim Noah. Wait,
I was
is he
going to say the
underrated?
same exact thing. I'm glad you said that. Another
he
player that
underrated,
if he
though?
played today with that passing from a big man, it would be used so much more than it was back in the late 2010s. I'm still one of the best defenders of his generation.
So we're not giving Luol Deng his credit.
Shout out to Luol Deng. You did a lot for the African
Are we
kids
not
across the
giving Ben
country,
Gordon
bro.
his
But
credit?
I'm not giving you
You
that
didn't think Luol Deng would appear in this TikTok.
But he did.
Are we not giving Tyrese Thomas his credit?
Who?
Exactly.
Oh, man, you're
that's
too
what,
deep
That's
in
what
the
I'm saying.
weeds.
Underrated. What are we doing?
Tony Kukoc?
Hey,
Tony Kukoc is crazy. Oh my goodness.
I think he's like, he gets a lot of love actually. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's so underrated.
Yeah.
He might get a little too much love.
Joakim Noah was in MVP discussions, bro. That was a nut. That was crazy. I don't know if that's like showed how down bad the NBA was or how good he was. Maybe a little bit of both.
no, he was great. He was great.
He was like top 4 in MVP voting, I believe, at one point in time.
I'm
It's
going with
crazy.
Joakim Noah.
Listen, there was 1 year where he was at the top of the league in triple doubles with 4.
Crazy time, bro.
Crazy numbers in 2011.
He's
That's
basically
the
Nikola
real
Jokic if you think
NBA.
about it.
With defense and nice hair too.
That might be the GOAT. That might be the GOAT.
Oh God. I love that shit.
All right, next up, the New York Knicks.
Who is the most underrated player in Knicks history? That's a great
Probably
question,
Tingus
bro.
Pingus.
Really? He was a disappointment, though.
not really.
I was
Come
like, oh my God.
No, not really at all.
Who is
Now, if we're talking about
You
Trey
know
Burke
who it
back
is?
when he had braids, I might lean him.
I'm leaning towards Amari Stoudemire because Amari Stoudemire, if it wasn't for not only the injuries, but whenever Carmelo showed up, that really changed what he was doing. But he was going crazy when he first got to New York. And then they brought in Carmelo and that kind of threw everything off. But he was really, really good. And I don't think looking back on that era, we look at everything that he was able to accomplish.
Wow.
So
okay.
maybe Stoudemire. Listen, there was like a 20. Actually, no. My bad. It's David Lee.
Oh,
David
okay.
Lee.
David Lee was out here hooping for a long time.
See, when you said the last name
Knicks were
Lee,
trash.
I haven't thought about David Lee in like 12 years. I love this. Let's
Bro.
go David Lee.
I was thinking about Courtney Lee before David Lee, bro. That's crazy as hell. Shout out to Courtney
David
Lee.
Lee was a problem. Warriors legend.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Problem
David
for
Lee's a
real.
perfect answer. I love that shit.
What y'all know about
This is the
David
game
Lee?
that I love.
I don't know nothing. Y'all know nothing.
Run, man, with the little sloop for a hair for his haircut was very interesting for the time.
I had him in
bro.
my team
Love
in
it.
2K13. He was a fucking demon.
Listen,
Oh my God,
Danilo
he was-
Gallinari, David Lee. Oh my goodness. If you wanted to see a blowout on Christmas Day, that was the team to tune into. They were going to get blown out by 25 every Christmas.
Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious.
I love that shit, bro.
All right, man. That's the last one. And that's the end of the episode. Mo, if people are still here, what should I actually know?
Happy
people are still
birthday,
here,
Donovan. Comment happy
Sure,
birthday,
comment that his birthday's in a
Donovan.
couple of days. Or comment, let's
Isaac
keep
does
Mo
not
out of the
care.
hood.
No, it's Isaac's time, bro.
I was going to say, let's keep Mo out of the hood.
No.
Both trying to be nice. I was just like,
Yeah.
all right.
Comment happy birthday, Donovan. It's Friday. Spam his IG. Go ahead, spam his TikTok. He deserves that shit. Nikhil,
He's like-
go to jail. Isaac,
he's like,
go to
shut
jail.
up. We don't care about that.
There you go, bro.
So what?
Good God, bro. He's for the content.
That's not at all what I meant.
What an ending, bro.
Fuck it. Let's go back into the hood.
No.
Let's comment.
What the fuck?
Happy
Fuck
birthday,
that.
Donovan. We don't care about most come up. It's happy birthday, Donovan.
That's hilarious.
Happy birthday, Donovan, bro.
Go back to the Bronx.
Sounds like a
man.
slur.
See y'all later.